go. 2-day break. I had a 2-day break, and I'm ready to get back at it. Even though maybe I should have worn green today. Nah, you'll see. We got some Halo scrims. What else is new? I got a lot of POVs. A lot of different POVs today. POVs you've probably never seen before, honestly. I did some searching. David, how we doing? Chase, Bemmy, TK, Justice, Wari. Trolling hard today. What? What are you talking about? No way. You guys excited for this scrim, bro? This is a long-awaited, heavily anticipated Halo scrim, man. Optic versus FB. Final boss. They're in Halo. And they're deadly. They might be better than the OG final boss. I don't know. It's a tough competition. I'm pretty excited. Trust me, bro. This final boss is diffy. Not like any final boss you ever heard of. It's almost as if they're not real. How are we doing, Jeff Rich, Burn, Hoover, Kosori? Welcome, welcome. Big Daddy in the chat. Thought there's only one daddy in here. Get bro in Optic, if only. Kiniak, welcome. Rome's, River, how we doing? Dre, Toby. I took 2 days off to rest my voice. I'm ready to get back at it. I don't know about you guys. You snazzy. Break it down. What am I breaking down? We're kicking off the week at over 1,600 subs. My God. I'm going to turn off the a couple changes I'm going to make with the subs on the bottom of the screen so they don't annoy you guys. Snazzy, let's get it. My God. First sub of the day, first sub of the week, first sub of the month. It's a new month. It's the 1st of April. What does that mean, chat? You guys can be the analyst for once. I don't have to be the analyst on that one, right? What does that mean? H3 final boss, right, bro? Yo, how hard does that graphic go, though, right? On YouTube, if you guys are on the YouTube broadcast, how sick does that head-to-head graphic look? I don't know, man. Like, if I'm final boss, I'm thinking we gotta get back in Halo. Wolfie, how we doing? I don't know if you're in on the joke or not, brother. Bro, the response to the tweet that I made this morning is... wow. I should make jokes like that more often. Nah, this final boss is even better than Walsh and the Ogres, bro. You're going to be surprised. Optic, Shyway. We talked about it so much. It had to happen, right? We manifested it. They really needed me. There was a hole in the roster, right? Formy's like, something's not working. We keep getting second place. How do we fix it? I already nuked them once. We got to add to the team this time. We need an analyst. What's up, Drew? Heck yeah. Time for some damn good Halo. So we got scrims today, guys. In all seriousness, there's a couple scrims. Nothing too crazy. Only FaZe versus SR. We got Last Shot's POV. I think that's a good way to kick off the broadcast. Who's really scrimming? Last Shot and FaZe are going head-to-head. Trippy and Last Shot head-to-head today. That's our main focus today. We're going to talk about the Kaysan Major at some point. I'd like to. I also wanted to look at a video talking about, or with Formal's thoughts on how his team did last weekend. If you guys saw that from Broward, he clipped together Formal's thoughts on how his team did. I thought it was pretty well said, but people have been kind of, they're kind of slamming for me. So I'm here to just glaze him as usual. You guys know how it is. Just want to talk a little bit about Optic and their current status compared to SR, some of the stats from the previous tournament, things like that. Well, we also casually watched Last Shot and Trippy today. Almost got you till you saw the description. Once you see the image, I mean, that's on you, right? If you're baited by the image, that's on you, chat. It's on you today, okay? I know that you guys get upset with me for clickbaiting, and sometimes that's justified, but today it's on you, ladies and gentlemen. You played yourself. Wow, Jeffrich, you're going to hit me with that 5 minutes into the broadcast. Insanely crazy. How we doing? What's good, guys? Barbosa, welcome. All right, so I'm going to turn off. So what I'm going to do is remove the subs from the screen. And I know some people are having some issue with me just having the subs sitting there on the screen. I think I'm going to turn it on between games. And then I'm going to make you guys sub between games. Do it. Tenny, thank you for the follow, brother. Welcome. And then that way you just get a clean screen with me and the gameplay, right? Outlier, how we doing? Fell for 0.5 seconds. That's about how long I expected you guys to fall for. But look, bro, when I read the replies to this tweet, these guys are genuinely, like, feeling it. Like, the bait, I just made somebody's day. I don't know, bro. It's like 1,000 people. Yeah, I know. I saw this guy, the interaction with this guy right here. He's like, let's go. That's fucking huge. And then people are clowning on him. So I feel kind of bad, bro. I feel kind of bad. Some people are, like, genuinely really happy for me. And I appreciate that. That means a lot. Samantha. Oh, my God. What are you doing here? Master clickbaiter. I baited you guys on YouTube today. And you're going to deal with it. You're going to sit here and you're going to stick around despite the clickbait. How could I? Love a good glaze. Whether it's donuts or through the vocal cords. Doesn't matter, right? Could I clone one player 3 times to make a team of 4 who can... I don't know, bro. Maybe last shot. We'll get 4 of this guy. Cornwall's in good spirits, though. Why they're trashing him? No, just some of the comments of people saying, like, excuses, you know. But everything that he said was pretty fair, like, in my opinion. His thoughts coming out of the series. Obviously, we could talk about the format, how the format was not ideal. And Optic, while they're clearly aware of that, they still had to, you know, a win's a win in the end of the day.
That is
they
just
had
good
to lock
Halo
in.
right there. That is just
damn good Halo.
My God.
Outlier with the 10 months. Let's go, brother. Welcome back. The format, you know, that was not fair. And I think it's important that we are empathetic to Optic fans, you know, who don't feel like that was the best way to do things, the Kaysan Major. But, you know, Optic still lost that series. And I know that Formal and team are taking that as a loss, as they should. JM, thank you for the YouTube follow. I think there should have been a small advantage, though, even with the time constraints, whether it was like a veto or something. But anyway, we'll focus on scrims for a bit. We can spend some time while not looking at scrims, kind of recapping the event. Talking about doing a watch party together. Hope we see me in... that would be cool, Chase. I don't know. Only if I'm welcome. I don't know. I'd be happy to watch party with anybody who's down. I've tried reaching out to APG. You know, if he's down, he'll get back to me. Being accused of cheating by people in chat at this point, being defamed, bullied. Down to VOD review games to help. Oh my God, Henry. I'm not sure. How bad is it? Sounds like April Fools. Doesn't take April Fool's joke to get me to... Yeah, there you go, Jacob. That's the hope, right? You should just see a Shyway broadcast. It shouldn't matter whether or not I'm clickbaiting you. I'm hoping you're here regardless. But safe to say, you know, we're putting work in to bait the new fans. Not everybody knows. Not everybody knows ball in here. Think SSG will ever win? I don't know. If they don't, they won't stick together, right? So, you know, hopefully they figure it out. But if things aren't looking good after Arlington, then who knows? Who knows what's going to happen, you know? Depending on their performance, I wonder if they'll stick it out and try to continue to figure it out, or if they'll feel the pressure and decide to make some changes, considering, you know, the way things are with esports. At the same time, this being potentially the last year, I don't know. Would that make you want to, like, stick with your current team even more, or maybe even, like, feel more incentivized to change things up because you're like, screw it, bro. Like, this might be the last year at Infinite. Let's just make it shenanigans, you know? Just change the teams up. Suspector watch, but that'd be cool too. We got options. Halo more team-based than other shooters. I think the time to kill in Halo does make it require more teamwork than other shooters for sure. I don't know about every shooter because there are a lot of different ways to work with your team and in a whole variety of shooters that I don't know too well. But like between this and Call of Duty, let's say, team communication, teamwork is extremely important just because of time to kill, right? When you put damage into a player, he can get away from the fight with half shields. That's an important source of information that you and your team want to play off of. Team shooting in this game is a power weapon. Whereas in Call of Duty, you know, time to kill is so fast that by the time your teammate gets there, the exchange is likely over, you know? It's a different kind of skill, though. That's not to say that teamwork isn't important in COD, because it absolutely is. Or that COD isn't skillful, because it absolutely is as well. If you guys saw my tweet recently about, like, Illy crashing out or whatever, like, that's not me saying that COD isn't skillful. That's just me saying that Halo Infinite's been out for 4 years. I don't know if you guys saw that. Illy was like... Bro was screaming bloody murder. I don't know. He was kind of crashing out in a 1v1 with Shock. Shock is he's not I don't know if I call him a pro in placing. He's a pro in individual skill, but he doesn't have tournament placings. And Illy just like lost his shit in the 1v1. But he's been playing that game for 4 years, right? Like we've been playing Infinite for 4 years. The mechanical and just knowledge and strategic skill gap in Infinite for a pro at this point in the meta is so much so that any COD player coming over to Halo is at a massive disadvantage. Like, if you're Shotsy, maybe because you played a lot of Halo, if you're Shotsy, maybe you can, like, you know, you could hang as your Shotsy. But, like, outside of that, bro, if you're just, like, a COD player coming to Halo, the meta at this point is too evolved. He paid out. Oh, that's cool to hear. Yeah, I don't even care about that. I don't know about those details. I was just, I saw, like, the first half of the video. And I was like, my God, you know, this guy's going crazy. But at the same time, like, just expecting to beat a Halo pro this far. Like, he was jiggle peeking him. Like, I knew that was going to happen, right? A Halo pro who's been playing for 4 years is going to abuse every component of the meta strategically, mechanically, that, like, a COD pro just isn't practicing, you know, and use that to win every gunfight. And because of the time to kill, once again, if you have like a timing advantage in Halo, you don't get away with the kill, right? Your opponent can still turn around, finesse, and make the outplay happen. In COD, it's a little bit different. In COD, if you got good like timing on an exchange, you get the first shot, you're likely to win. Daniel, thank you for the YouTube follow. Welcome. I think that's part of the reason why Illy lost to Legend, by the way. Legend, you know, his timings and his approach to the game was super awkward and like different than he's used to with other pros in 1v1 chals. And I think he got caught off guard. And if you're caught off guard in COD, you're just insta-dead. Pretty much. From a good shooter. Hey, Phantom. Look forward to seeing me on main stage. Does it say that in the Twitch title too? Or are you just going off my Twitter? We're going to have a command for everybody who got baited and doesn't realize it's April Fool's, huh? Final boss. Yeah, this is it right here, Nova. So on screen, we've got final boss, last shot. Manning the util. SR is, they bought out the final boss org and they completely flipped over. Imagine. Come on, guys. It's April 1st. I guess it depends on what part of the world you're in. Like, technically, I'm trolling you. Like, inappropriately so. Like, if you're in, like, Australia right now, it's probably April 2nd, right? So I'm an asshole if you're in Australia. My apologies. I'm replacing Formal on the roster. Now, realistically, if I had any involvement with Optic, it'd probably be as an analyst or a content creator. What have you missed? We literally just got here. We're not really talking about the game just yet, and I will focus on the game. But, you know, we just got here. We're kind of chatting about, like, literally anything that just comes to mind based off the last couple days that I haven't been here. You know, haven't streamed in 2 days. It's good to have you guys. Welcome back. Trying to be a consistent streamer. We don't have Optic Scrims today. This is Last Shot's POV on Shopify versus FaZe. How you doing, Felipe? Which is still high-level Halo, and I'm not complaining. But no Optic. I didn't see Formal go live or anybody in Optic go live, so I guess they're not scrimming. I know, right? Progressive. It's a close game of Assault. I'm not sure what the overall scrim score is. We can figure that out in a second. Try to lock in for the tail end of this game, the last minute. Last shot spawn in fridge here. Frosty Roll 2 working together on util. Falcated bottom mid. Can he get the cleanup cycle with the pinch and do it? Make a Penguin weak on top car, but last shot running into a war zone. I think at least 2 players in util here. Takes a back route. See, this is the team play scenario, right? Like, that's a perfect team fight example where in Call of Duty, if you're behind the guy like that, in that situation, that player's just dead. You can't, you know, last shot's like carefully jiggle peeking, trying to avoid the second player. That was a team fight that actually didn't go his way. Teammate jumped in with a bait and switch, and they both got shredded by FaZe. Who's going to tell him? Hey, Kenny, who's going to tell him, Chad? Current state of Halo multiplayer. When I stopped playing, there was many hackers. I mean, look, there's always going to be cheaters and hackers in any PC game, so you can't avoid it entirely. But It's not very prevalent, in my opinion, unless you're playing at a very high level. I don't know. I think if you're like in a diamond lobby or, you know, anything below that, I would not be worrying about cheaters. Because how the hell are they in diamond, right? Like, they should be like in Onyx 1700 plus if they're cheating and like doing a decent job at it. If they're not in 1700 plus Onyx, then they're not very good cheaters, meaning they're beatable. If that means anything. There's no flying around hacks though that I've seen in a long time. Like, there was a period in Infinite where people were just like flying around hacking auto winning games. That shit I haven't seen in a while. It might still be happening, but not like MCC. Like, not like the you know, that weird shit where like everybody just goes 4 dead, you can't even spawn. More cheaters in diamond? Really? Like, so if it's like blatant cheats where the whole lobby is just screwed and you can't even spawn, like that I haven't seen in forever. But outside of that, like if you're walling and you're in diamond, like what are you doing? Are you just like that bad at Halo that you can be cheating and still be in diamond? I don't know. I find it hard to believe. And if that's the case, then just outplay the guy. Like if he's in diamond for cheating, then he must not be that good despite the cheats. I don't know. I hear you though. Halo's sweaty, and a lot of people have terrible attitudes playing this game, regardless of level of play. Everybody's just like so ready to blame their teammates for anything. They're in a state of frustration before the game even begins, and they're looking for anything that'll confirm that frustration. You know what I mean? Like, doesn't matter how well they're playing or what their teammates are doing, like you will get blamed. And I see that a lot in like diamond level, and I think that's really unfortunate. They are not saving it in the base, bro. Last shot just could not make it happen. Trippy and team going to come out with a dub. That's good to see out of Trippy. Trippy does have a stream available. I think he deserves a look. Kaysan, $2 super chat. Bro, there's a big lizard on the wall behind you. All right, Kaysan. All right. You made you look. Thank you, brother, for the $2. I appreciate it. It's 7 a.m. April 2nd, right? I screwed you over, didn't I, D-Vax? God damn. Wait, let's get out of slow mode. Buzzsaw, why are we in slow mode? Can we get off that? It says I'm in slow mode on the Twitch chat. Frosty looks back to his best. Yeah, I saw a Reddit post about Frosty maybe being the best in the world right now, and I think that you can make a good argument for Frosty being #1 right now, for sure. I mean, SR is winning, so the top 4 of the team are going to get the conversation. And I mean, like that, the 4 players on the team are going to have that, you know, that conversation surrounding them. And I feel like Frosty is the MVP of SR right now. He's definitely been a standout. Bro's a beast. So yeah, there might be some validity to that if it keeps up. Obviously, the year's still, you know, young. Frosty's been in the best player of all time conversation before in Infinite, not as often. So it's cool to see him have a glow up so late in the life cycle Infinite. And I think a good part of the reason why is because of his current team lineup. And this guy on screen. This last shot, or sorry, this is Trippy. Last shot in the last game. 2 weekdays with no Optic Scrim. Yeah, you know what? I came on today anticipating an Optic Scrim, and I don't see it either. So, yeah, I'm a little let down. Fish, somebody's going to have to hit up the team. Let them know how disappointed we are. They're not practicing hard enough. SR is right back to the grindstone. Come on. I don't know, brother. How is SSG not dominating? Have you seen their competition? That's why. That was a good FaZe win, yeah. We got to be more locked to fully appreciate it, don't we? Trippy getting absolutely shut down by Frosty. Speak of the devil. Man had the spike nade and jump shot ready to go. So trade should be more ball time for SR here. Uphill battle. Literally, figuratively, for Trippy and team. 3v3. Didn't clear out back PD. 2v2. For sure. Well, interestingly, SR actually have significantly more slays and better KDs than Optic. And that was a stat that I saw on Twitter recently. So Optic's like KD ratio was like the top 10 players in KD. I think Renegade and like Bound or something. I don't know. 2 players on Optic came up in 9th and 10th position in the top 10 KDA from the Kaysan major. And the top 3 were SR members. Like the top 3 KDA for the SR, for the FaZe major, whatever, or the Kaysan, whatever it is, were 3 members of SR. It was like Frosty, I think Cycle and Last Shot or something, or Royal 2 and I don't even, whatever. It was 3 SR players. And then you had like SSG players, FaZe players, and then Optic KDA was on the bottom, on the top 10. So I just thought that was interesting. It shows me that like Optic is actually very OBJ efficient, despite them struggling to keep up in slays and KDA in comparison to their opponents, right? Like, they don't get as many kills, but they're still winning, so they're getting shit done, so they're efficient. SR, they can slay better than any team in the league right now. And if they keep that up and they get a little bit more efficient in their OBJ, then that could be bad news bears for Optic, right? Optic could see more of a gap between them. On the flip side, you could say maybe Optic just have to pick it up in the slays category and the control the power-ups, the power weapons. That's a big thing. Formal talked about it in the Aqua Assault game recently, too. Like, they were missing a lot of camos, right? You get in a lot of trouble if you're not getting camo control. So if Optic can fix that, then maybe they can capitalize with their efficient OBJ play. It's just interesting that that slays is where Optic seems to be lacking in comparison to the competition right now. Surprising considering their team lineup, right? Like, you'd think they'd be overslaying, and that would be their problem. Frosty, Last Shot, and Royal 2. Thank you, Wolf. How you doing? Optic, Renegade, and Formal in 9th and 10th. There you go. Yeah, so there's an actual post on Twitter that I'm referring to. I think it was by Halo Data Hype. And I can put that up eventually. I just thought it was an interesting statistic. And we noticed that in Scrims online as well. Optic was behind SR in their Scrims. Despite tying 7-7, they were behind by about 40 kills versus SR overall in the Scrim. SR got about 40 kills more than Optic, but they tied in games. This is SR versus FaZe. 2Cam. What are you confused about? The title and the video on screen are identical, bro. I don't know what you're talking about. Come on. Final boss in Halo. I'm on Optic. Nothing sus about that whatsoever. Playing less games because they were in winter finals. Take them in playing. Oh, that's an interesting point. Okay, so, well, the Scrim stats, though, that, you know, when Optic versus SR, the Scrim stats, they play the same amount of games. And SR had about 40 more kills. But in the tournament, that's actually a good point. Optic played less games than SSG did. But weren't there FaZe members with, like, higher KDs? The only games that Optic played were games versus SR on Saturday. Which was one of the weird things about that Kaysan Major is, like, Optic, the team that didn't lose until Grand Finals, had only one opportunity to lose. Like, they lose once and they're out. Versus every other team that did lose, like SR, they had a chance to come back through the lower bracket. Everybody else had a chance to kind of, like, make a comeback after losing a series. That's the weird thing about not having, like, a bracket reset or some form of an advantage for the winner's bracket. But yeah, Optic played, I guess, less games than SR did. But you would think with more games played, then the KDA might... It really depends on you know, how well they played in their next matchup. Okay, this is dominant. I'm going back to Last Shot because, damn. My God. Trippy, Suppressed, Penguin, and they were up there too, and FaZe played less games than everybody else, I guess, right? Because they played 2 best-of-5s and were knocked out. And still maintained high KDA, which shows you that maybe FaZe is lacking in OBJ efficiency and it's costing them games. I mean, this is a very broadly applicable. There's a lot of, you know, specific scenarios and components that go into a win and a loss. So just reading the numbers and making assumptions doesn't mean a ton, but that's just kind of off first glance. Nasty repeat, my God. Last Shot with the little sprint strafe behind the pillar. Frosty comes out on the right-hand side, and that draws aggro, right? It gives Last Shot the opportunity to jump out with the chow for the headshot here. Last Shot going to take the camo stalker control. This is what we talked about, what Optic needs to work on. Cycle already getting aggressive in tires here. This should be B. Red room spawns, yep. By pushing this out, he flips the spawns, I believe, over to C here, but he died. Tried to get the 2-shot beatdown, fumbled it. And a switch to direct tomorrow. Looking for Smash Ultimate Deluxe. I don't know, Glasswork. That's exciting, though. I'm curious to see, like, how the new Switch looks and the graphics. SR farmed SSG for KDA? Yeah, maybe. Who knows? I don't know. Suppress had an insane event. Suppress is nasty. He outslayed in the Scrims versus FaZe before the event with Optic. He outslayed all of Optic, and they lost the Scrim like 12-4. Right? So Optic, like, was pretty dominant in Scrim score, but Suppressed had more kills than all of Optic despite losing 12 times, bro. He's been playing lights out. If only, Colin, if only, brother. 6 highest KDA. Yeah, Lucid's good at staying alive, for sure. I mean, he's on FaZe right now, Carl, so that's a good precedent for any other team that he's a part of, assuming he continues to play well. What about Kaysan? Three dead right now. Should be ball time SR. Last guy driveway. He's got that death cam intel on it. The importance of staying on your death cam while you're dead, right? Just turn and get that camera POV. See exactly where that fourth player is.
This is the way.
Good damage cross map. You're going to slow these guys down right into the sight line of his teammates. He needs to stay up, though. Insane Gamer, thank you for the follow. Crazy Chow, bro, gets in his face. That's a good trade, though. 3v3. 3v2. SR advantage. 54 and counting. If he spawns here in back A, then they're on P Street likely, but... Oh, wait, maybe not. He's last alive.
Enemy has the ball.
Thank you, Travis. We grinded hard for this, guys. Put the work in. Finally got recognized for all our passion. Took long enough. Blind to certain comments. What was the comment? Kaysan just followed right now? Actually? Wait, no. This is April 1st, bro. It's April 1st. There's no way. Y'all are trolling. If he did, I completely... There's no... Hold on a second. I could see legitimately if I... Oh, he didn't. No, liars. Check activity feed. I did.
Enemy has the ball. Ball dropped.
I did, bro. It's not there. Insane Gamer. Teddy Season. Y'all are trolling me. Yo, can you turn off slow-mo? Reese, why is slow mode on Twitch chat? Turn that off. Now you gotta stick around, King Titan. There you go. Biggest mistake of SSG. Not having last shot or cycle. I don't know, bro. Safe to say this camo control is a bane for Trippy and team. Thank you, Reese. Nicely done. Nuked him. Pretty competitive round right here. If FaZe can win this team fight, get out with the ball. What do I think of Streets? I don't mind it, but I know the pros are kind of tired of playing on it. Streets is a very small map, and the spawns are pretty easy to, like, predict and capitalize on, right? So you can get, like, sort of aggravating to play. There's 3 dead right now. He's pushing out to C to force spawns a red room, likely. He's going to sit on the top of the staircase, kill, and then turn from the staircase. Oh, he's clearing out all the way. Trippy's location in C might have created a team spawn in back C there, or they spawn red room and they flank through, but I've seen that set up before where you have somebody sit on C stairs and somebody sit on heaven, and you spawn them like red room B, and you shoot them from both sides as they're coming out of B. And that opportunity is easy to create if you 3 or 4 dead them like they had almost done right there. I like watching it. I like playing Streets Oddball, but I think the pros find the map like kind of small and like snowball-y. And also the game tends to go like all the way down to the wire on this map a lot of the time. Maybe not in this case. SR a little too good. At the same time, like, we've been playing the same oddball maps for, what, 4 years now, so I wouldn't be surprised if any of these maps the pros are kind of tired of at this point. I would be down to see Strongholds or King of the Hill come back, but I've heard,
this is the way.
You know, pros say maybe not. Choco, thank you for the follow, man. Welcome. Like smaller maps, okay. I like the movement on this map. Like, there's a lot of ways to finesse.
This is the way.
Slay with the follow. Thank you, welcome.
This is the way.
That was dominant. Out of last shot in team. That was dominant. I mean, I'm not currently Benjamin. We haven't really been playing much. I was last season. Hi, Onyx. I was just about to say that, Killing Act. Took the words right out of my mouth, bro. Both myself and my mom like the movement on this map. We're pretty cracked. Like mother, like son. How many people fell for it? Like 1,000 people liked the post and were like all hype and stuff. So a lot of people, I guess. I don't know, bro. The post has like 80,000 views on Twitter right now. I'm honestly kind of surprised, but low key, like, you know, this is us manifesting that, right? Like, I put it out there as a joke, and people are genuinely happy to see, you know, the possibility of me being associated with Optic or, you know, whatever. Like, it's just good to see a lot of support for something like that, and motivation to keep grinding, right? Keep going. Keep G-sliding through life, Sebastian. Out the womb and up to, you know, success. Yeah, for sure. Whatever you guys are saying in the chat. Shyway's mom G-slid out white wall and 5 me on live fire. Can confirm. Yeah. My apologies, bro. Just apologizing for her. Bro, whoa, whoa, whoa. How are we doing, Filthy Casual? Strongholds live fire. I'm just a huge last shot fan, man. I would switch to Frosty or Cycle or World too, but I just, you know, I just love watching last shot. Nah, their POVs aren't available. Should be official Optic commentator? How does that work? Seems odd. Official Optic Glazer. They've got plenty of those already. Saves the camo, gets the kill, activates it now. That death can is going to show that he activated it now. If that player's watching it off his death, right? A permanent observer. That worked out nicely. Teammate can get C here. No, they're just playing... Okay, they reset C and they're taking B, yeah. Dead. Where's the team shot? A little late with the team shot. Last shot will die in the trade, but that advantage should hopefully be enough for SSG or for SR to get to Hill. Falcade got a big pick though. B. The line of defense. Here comes the pinch. World 2 pushing out pillars, cutting the sight line out from Nest, but they both die. Last shot has to clean up kills here. Finds the trade. That's the best he could hope for. Gonna get back some map to FaZe though. Let them know, Radiant. How we doing on YouTube right now, guys? We're just getting situated. I got a video coming up today, so if you are hanging out on the YouTube, we got 420 of you guys. 420 blazing. Stick around, please, till the end of the stream. We're going to post a video on Search and Destroy. Our React first impressions on the Search and Destroy game type from the Kaysan Major, or Kaysan Invitational. It was cool. You'll see my thoughts in the video. Look kind of horrible. It's definitely not like a game changer by any means. I didn't expect it to be. I thought it was okay for what it was, but will it become like a esports game type? I don't know. Got a surprise for the community? Vid dropping on the Broward channel soon. Ooh, sounds cool. Filthy Casual. Wonder what that is. Has Scrims tomorrow, but don't know who it's against. Cool. We'll watch him. Pros hated it? Yeah, Formal was saying he didn't like it at all. I doubt it'll, you know, make it into competitive play. But it was a cool showcase. As a spectator, I guess, you know, I don't know. Like, I hope, like, you know, people watch and have their own thoughts and whatnot. I was just hoping that, like, some dialogue would be had around it. Maybe some ideas in the YouTube comments on what could be worked on for the mode, because I know Tashi and team have been working hard on the mode, and I'm sure they want feedback, so it's just kind of an opportunity to put a video out there and then see if any of you guys have feedback. I think one of the biggest things that hurt the mode was just a lack of, like, the UI. The UI on the mode, like, you couldn't tell who had what weapon. Why is it just this stream that's frozen? Nobody else's stream. Like, am I just cursed, bro? Roaming King of the Hill? That was kind of cool in H5 in the social playlist. I remember that. I don't know if you guys have heard of that. It's like, it's King of the Hill, but the hill moves around. You have to stay inside it as it rotates around the map for points.
This is the way.
This is
Danza,
the way.
thank you for the follow, brother. Welcome.
This is the way.
FaZe evening out the odds here. Good flank opportunity from last shot. Yep, can go right back to C. They just cleared out the whole team. Should be a trip cap off this. Cycle blocking A. They're still forcing spawns at the OS here. There's only so many locations they can spawn. Is it mud? He's not sure, right? Because they were literally blocking the whole map. Final boss? I know. Crazy, right? How hard does that YouTube thumbnail look, though? Optic versus final boss looks sick, man. Build a team to compete with SR and Optic using any players other than the 8 on those teams. I don't know, like maybe reconfiguring some of FaZe and SSG right now. Like swap maybe somebody else out on SSG for suppressed or something like that. He's been doing a lot of damage recently. Like maybe that's a good addition. Or take a gamble on like a young gun who hasn't quite proven himself yet. It's hard to say because like any young gun that really deserves a shot this year has been accounted for, right? Any of the team that can give top 4 a challenge at the major. Teams to look out for. TSM on LAN. TSM on LAN is always a team to look out for. Druck and Soul Snipe as a duo are pretty consistent in making it within top 4 and taking games off the top 3. So I could see that happening with TSM. They're like 5th place on paper. They've been inconsistent online, but we'll see how they do on LAN. C9 is a team to watch out for. They've been placing within top 6 online. And they took a series off FaZe online as well, right? So maybe C9. LG, I think, is going to be interesting. LG has some of the young talent, like Avusi, that have unknown potential. Their whole team is a big question mark. They're kind of a dark horse this year. So LG, if they play well on LAN, they could surprise a lot of people. And then never sleep on Europe, right? Woodham's roster, Nemesis from Europe. We haven't seen any of their gameplay whatsoever. I have no idea what to make of them. They're the best team in Europe right now based on their standings, like in scrims and whatnot. Just at first glance online, they don't look like they're going to take top 4, but you never know online. Arlington Major in a couple weeks. 18th of April. April just began, right? So not next week, but the following weekend. Not next weekend. Not this weekend, not next, but the one after that. That's it. What do you want me to concentrate on? I got both chat, I got the game, I got conversations that we're having at the same time. A little bit of analytics here and there, hopefully, or just play-by-play commentary. Just vibe, hang out, enjoy yourself, stay a while, put your feet up. No expectations, baby. How many team names mean nothing because they change rosters so much? Yeah, I hear you. I get it. You got to keep up, bro. Are you a real Halo fan if you're not keeping up with the ongoings of roster mania? Come on. Get with the program. Is Final Boss real or was that just for the thumbnail? What's the date today, Aaron? I'll answer your question with another question. What's the date? And then come back and tell me whether or not you think it's real. Or just trust Neo. He's known to be a reliable source in the YouTube chat. Switch to directives tomorrow, correct? That's what you guys are saying. I'm actually looking forward to it. Last shot making sure B is clear, and he's got the help. Not even taking C there. Camo, they kind of whiffed it. Trippy and team going to get out with Camo. Can they get anything off of this opportunity they've been given here? This is their final chance to bounce back in the game, just about. Last shot just pre-nading corners, looking to expose the Camo player. Penguin dies alone. Nobody pushing out A with Penguin. He's just a solo player sitting on A plat. Last shot taking advantage. That's the team that's going to drop. The last player alive, not sure if it was Camo. I think it was. Either way, they trade. And that might be GG's for FaZe once again. Tell us everything always all at once. Working on it. You guys have, no strangers to a challenge. Talking to my Twitch and YouTube chat at the same time. It's definitely quite the multitasking, challenge. Bro! My God. The amount of angles this guy is simultaneously dealing with. Talk about, multitasking. Last shot on Nest Bridge. Back to Big Door. Back to the nade shot at Pillars. This guy's freaking locked. Holy crap. There's no, I don't know. There's just nothing in his gameplay is going wrong. That was flawlessly executed. Hold on. Is there anything that could be done on FaZe's side? This guy's a beast. From one position, he impacted 3 fights.
Halo right there. That is just
damn good Halo.
My God.
You can say that again, Dark Mew. Let's go. 15 months on an 8-month streak. Love to see it. Yeah, right now, we are at 1589. We're losing subs by the second. We started at like 1614 today, so it tells me that we're at our month limit. March has been the most incredible month for my content, I think, like ever, somehow, just because of the streaming. Now that it's over, all the subs are going to lapse, so we have to somehow like go even harder this month to stay where we're at or keep gaining subs. We'll see. 1589 right now out of 1700. We'll be grinding. Trippy better activate Windows? Huh? Yeah, I was hyped too, Max. Imagine F dot. Did you guys see the vision? Always closer to take a game from SR and Optic than SSG. They definitely have had, better chances or like better performances against Optic and SR. They've taken a series off Optic online, right? But SSG beat them on LAN last weekend. So, like, we talked about the LAN buff and whether or not it was a real thing. Like, how different are these guys going to play in a LAN environment? Safe to say, like, last Saturday, that was probably the most comfortable LAN environment you could ask for, right? Unless SSG just, like, activates with pressure and crowd.
This is the
like,
way.
crowd pressure, right?
This is the way.
Matt, thank you for the YouTube follow. Welcome.
This is the way.
Because we talked a lot about, like, online, it's just online. It's BS. And there's a lot of BS in online. But the LAN statistics look pretty much identical to what we had been seeing in Scrims online, right? There wasn't a huge difference except for SSG taking that series off of FaZe. I think that was one, notable moment there. I think Snakebite looked really good on LAN. Certain players individually who might be kind of gimped online get maybe a bit of a glow up on LAN. But then when you go to Arlington, like, who's to say things are going to be any better? There's going to be crowd pressure. They're going to be face-to-face. That was the one thing I didn't like about the Kaysan Invitational is, like, they were in separate rooms, separated by some sort of tempered glass or something like that. So they couldn't, like, actually shit-talk each other properly, Like, yeah, he was looking good, too. Surprised. Thank you, Wartooth. Happy April Fool's, brother. Do I guess your rank? I haven't.
That is just
oh
good
my
Halo
God.
right there. That is just damn good Halo.
My God. Is that 10 gifted? Deeps Jung with 10 gifted subs. Deeps, I don't think I've ever seen your username before, bro. Thank you for being a goat today. And gifting 10. Herb Derpenstein, Notorious, Pilot, Sentinels, Red Panda, Roy Mustang, Shy Kobo, Soda, Zelisher, and Spicy Saucer. Let's freaking get it. That's what we like to see. If we're gonna maintain our progress, that's the kind of hype we need to see. Deep, you're a goat, man. Thank you so much. Welcome to the chat as well. I feel like I haven't seen your username. Comment on LAN controversy. Tony said something about it. Give me the sit rep, bro. What's the TLDR on the LAN controversy? I'm not sure what you're referring to. Is it already 2-0, bro? Watching Trippy's POV is tough, man. FaZe are just like, they're just getting worked, bro. They're getting worked. Cycle gonna kill him in tower. Trippy immediately focusing tower, but that flag is moving. He can't really delay looking at that, right? Because they're at the cap.
This is the way.
Nothing you can do.
This is the way. This is the way.
Thank you, Wartooth. Welcome. Oh, about Grands and no advantage for Optic? What did Tony say about it? Just out of curiosity. What do you guys think about it, chat? Like, so, I just think, like, SR won the series, and those were the rules set by Kaysan, so SR get the win. Congratulations to them. They played lights out. They get the win. However, I think it's important that it's fair to be empathetic to Optic and their fans, because it wasn't really fair. What's it called? The format wasn't fair. It was like nothing we had ever seen in a Halo tournament. And even though it was mentioned on Twitter that, like, the players knew in advance, Legend might not have known in advance, right? Like, Legend's tweet was like, his tweet made it seem like he wasn't aware until after he won winners finals and was in grands, like waiting for the game, is the impression that I got, which might very well be true. Like either Legend was just lying, or maybe he actually just didn't know until after winners finals, right? Because Kaysan could announce to, like, let's say a Discord that these are the rule set, and that he could, like, you know what I mean? Like, he's not going to make sure every individual person knows the rules. He could just put out whatever he's got to put out to make sure people are informed. That's on Legend for not being informed, but he might have genuinely just like not known and was blindsided. But he did delete the tweet. No grand finals reset, and there was no veto advantage, and there can't be in Halo because there's never has been vetoes in Halo. Like the maps and game types are determined randomly. It's just unfortunate that the game types that were decided upon were not like Optic's best game types, but at the same time, like formal, you know, he had statements on it that we can react to. We're gonna watch his video. You just got to win those. You know what I mean? Like you can't, if you have bad game types, that's on you still. You know, you gotta work on your bad game types. So I think Formal's got like a good level-headed sort of follow-up, like, you know, reaction to the whole situation. But I think it's fair to be empathetic to Optic fans because that win was kind of weird. It just wasn't like Optic lost one time and they're knocked out. Everybody else got a chance to come back from the lower bracket, right? There was no advantage. Like technically speaking, it was almost like better if Optic lost winners finals. You know, in some regards. So that was weird. But SR, they won the best of 7. As incredible as that series was, it went to game 7. It was crazy. They almost won it in like game 4 though, right? Or no, game 5 or something like that. That Street Slayer was freaking mind-blowing. And you could say that's just a horrible choke from SR or like an insane regain from Optic. Anyway, it's like you got to give SR credit for playing as well as they did and winning that series. But I think it's fair to be empathetic to Optic fans for like that being kind of BS. So the people who are saying like, take the loss. You freaking Optic scrub. You know what I mean? Like there's some people who are like, you suck. Like take the L. You know, like they're being insensitive. That I don't like. At the same time, I understand that there are Optic fans that are also like, they're being like, yo, this is bullshit. That's a fake win. Like it doesn't count. Like, okay, chill, bro. Like it goes both ways, you know? Like I think there are people who are going too hard the Optic side. There are people going too hard on the SR side. When in actuality, like SR played excellent. And it was also kind of like weird rules that we've never seen before. Not 100% fair. Does it say joined? It says joined Optic on the YouTube stream, right? Does it say it on the Twitch too? It should say Halo Scrims, right? It says Halo Scrims on the Twitch. Twitch chatters coming in saying, what does joined Optic mean? Barry, power went out. Oh, hold on. I can't. Slayer is the base of Halo. I think Slayer is a necessary part of a competitive series, but it's the least competitive game type in the series, if that makes sense. But I think it's necessary in the series because it brings a lot to the game as a spectator. Like it brings a lot of like suspense, and the pacing of Slayer is different than any other game type. Like it'll go really fast or it can slow down to a halt. I think it like, you know, it brings enough to the experience of watching competitive Halo, and it's... What the hell was that? Bro just threw a double nade in a single toss. You see that? He just whipped 2 with 1. Was that actually 2 nades? Is the game that bad online? He's got 11 ping. I don't know what I just saw. Anyway. I think you could make an argument for having less Slayer in a series, but game 5, the end of a series should always end in Slayer, I think. Because it's hype. 3 Slayers in a best of 7 is a lot of Slayer. Yeah. You could maybe have 2 Slayers, you know? Probably desync. It looked like he threw 2 nades back to back. I didn't check his ammo to see if he actually had 1 and it was just like a bug, or if he genuinely threw out 2 nades, because that's a crazy desync. Hit it. Surprised with a nice pinch here. Gonna lock down the anchor on loop. Yep. Good awareness. Doesn't just run back to it. Keeps his positioning high ground. He's got an awkward challenge angle with the shock, which gives him time to react on Frosty coming in. He still dies. Gets the trade. But I like the patience out of Trippy there. He knew he was going to get pushed out on loop anyway. So instead of just like running forward to block the spawn, he stays still. Lets them come to him. What would I rather see for Game 5? No, I think Slayer for Game 5 is good. And maybe just get rid of it on Game 2. Oh, you mean like in a best of 7 series? I don't know. Search and seek and deploy, bro. Mix it up a little. Fiesta, search and destroy. One life. Everybody has bulldog shotguns. Very competitive. Let's make a new game mode. Yeah, it's gonna be Halo mechanics horse, like skill jump horse. That's what it would be. Game 5 is every player has to try to hit skill jumps like on command. Like somebody hits a jump and then the guy has to. It's like horse, you know. And if you miss it, that's it. You're screwed. $100,000 on the line.
You're breathtaking.
Oh my God!
You're all
$5 super chat, Brandon. I hope Formal gets second place all year again. I don't like the buy championships mentality in Halo. Final boss tried with Neighbor and it failed. GG's. Yo, that's another thing I wanted to talk about. Why do you guys think that Formal just like bought the championship team? Like, dude, are we not paying attention to any of the dialogue that took place between the World Championship and now? Right? Like, Formal didn't just say like, hey, here's a bag. Like, I want to buy this team. Like, he literally just like DM Bound and Legend, and they've been talking in Discord and hanging out as friends, you know, before Worlds even happened. He reached out, said he wanted to team with them, and it was that simple. Holy shit, big oops. 20 gifted. Hold on. This is going to come in for 20 times, bro. I hope you guys are ready. Big oops, you freaking goat. On the YouTube chat, we got 20 gifted.
Oh,
Aaron,
that is just good Halo right there.
Punga,
That is just
Casey,
damn good Halo.
Scott,
My God.
Cal, welcome, guys. Welcome, guys. Yeah, so, I mean, it didn't start with, like, obviously,
That
if
is
you're
just
on
good
Optic,
Halo
there's
right
an
there.
assumption that
is
you're going to
just
make
damn
money.
good Halo. My God.
And it's going to help your career, of course, but it was more so just as simple as, like, Formal having a good relationship with those players.
That is just good Halo right there.
And just
That is
asking them to
damn
play with
good
it.
Halo. My God.
My God. Holy crap. I'm going to lower this down. Thank you so much, Oops. You're a freaking goat, man. Holy shit. I got a lot of complaints because people said that all I do is I just read subs all day. I don't pay attention to the games. I'm a horrible host. Damn good Halo. Why would they want to leave after winning a Worlds? Right, so they got a lot of respect for Formal as a player. They, you know, they're good friends. And I think Legend had a really good take on the situation, which was that, like, it's rare to see teams win a World Championship and to continue winning after that. It hasn't happened in Infinite before. Mind you, SSG did win 4 events in the year, so they were more consistent in their dominance than any other team. But, like, Optic won a Worlds, what happened in the next year? They fell apart. FaZe won a Worlds, the next year they fell apart. SSG has won a Worlds. If the trend means anything, a couple things happen. Like, the team that just won Worlds kind of gets complacent, or they just become the target of everybody else. Everybody else reconfigures to make a team that can beat SSG, right? They don't change. They remain stagnant. So Legend's perspective on that was by leaving and joining Optic, he sort of hit the reset button on his mentality. He's put himself in a position where he's going to challenge himself and continue to grow as a player, and also, you know, could potentially win a bunch of events again, you know, with that kind of reset, if that makes sense. You don't get complacent. You're not the target necessarily, or it's like you are the target, but the people haven't figured out how to play you. If that all makes sense. Like, I think his mentality was actually pretty mature. Money came after all of that, right? Like, they wanted to play with the guy, so much so that they didn't even tell, as far as I'm aware, they didn't even tell Eco and Stellar. That's why Stellar called them Fake 1 and Fake 2, right? Or whatever, Fake and Fake. Because Legend and Bound made their decision, like, before even telling their own teammates. So you can, like, blame those guys. I mean, I don't know. I'm just saying, like, people think that, like, Optic just, like, bought the roster and, like, that's like, they're buying their wins. Like, I just think it's such a narrow focus. There's so much more to it. Anyway. Big Oops, you're a freaking goat, man. I still see it coming in, man. Daniel White, welcome. Gotta remember, they're friends. Yeah, they're all friends. Even with Bound and Renegade as well. Bound and Renegade have been talking about teaming together for a long time. Renegade talked about that on the podcast with the Optic podcast, right? And the only reason they didn't team together right away was because an opportunity didn't present itself. Bound was winning with SSG, so, you know, why would he step away from that? But when an opportunity came up for them to, like, get on a team together, it was, like, a no-brainer because they had wanted to make that happen for a long time. Renegade and Bound have been rivals, but You know, also they got a lot of respect for each other and their approach to the game. They both have that like kind of relentless freaking I need to win mentality, you know? Just a good match of vibes. Outcast, thank you for the follow, man. Welcome. Fake and fake. And I don't blame them. I don't blame Stellar and Eco reacting the way that they did. You know, like they had a pretty confident reaction to it where they're like, screw that. Like if you guys are going to make that decision behind our backs, then go ahead and leave. We don't want you back, right? Eco and Stellar didn't want the two to return. They're just like, screw it. Like we're going to beat you next year anyway. That's their mentality. So it was more like all of those circumstances kind of pressured the SSG owner to have to make a decision, right? Plus the money came in as well. I'm sure some good money came in. That's my interpretation of the situation. So I think people just like, they come in, they're like, oh yeah, I don't like the formal, just bought the team. Screw that guy. I don't know. Do like actually like look into it though. Going for a dynasty team almost seems harder than a reset. As far as a challenge, yeah, exactly, Sleazen. Something about like being a dynasty is a lot of pressure. Like if you've won 4 events, you can only go one direction, okay? You go down, right? You either stay where you are or you go down. And that's a lot of pressure. The pressure continues to mount itself, you know, as you continue to win and the expectations get higher or whatever, right? Like on top of the fact that, yes, you could get kind of complacent. Like Formal talked about this after winning Worlds with Optic is like they sort of did what they needed to at the end of 2022. And the mindset starts to shift a little bit. And you let off the gas a little bit. And every other team is so hungry for your spot that they haven't let up at all, right? Next thing you know, you're slipping. Like, they struggled that next year to kind of regain the same momentum that they had in the first year of Infinite. Even though they did still win 2 events in that year, I think. Anyway, there's a lot of dynamics to it. It's complicated. Doesn't mean that you shouldn't be, you know, if you want to hate, by all means, you know what I mean? Like, you can like what you want. Corsican with a YouTube follow. Thank you, man. Welcome. Did Big Oops say anything in the chat after dropping the 20 bomb? And if I miss it, I'm sorry. Can we... Where is this guy? Man just comes in. Same with Deep, bro. You guys are incredible. Please highlight their message or something so I can just make sure I give it my attention. In the end, it's all about money. I don't know, bro. I think if it's all about money, then what the hell are you doing in Halo? If it's all about money, then you picked the wrong esport, brother. When pros don't even know if there'll be another season and they're just starting out in their careers, then don't blame them chasing the money. The money's part of it.
This is the way.
Definitely. It's like definitely a big part of it. Harry West, thank you for the YouTube follow. But like if you're a Halo fan, Halo competitor, then you're here because you're freaking passionate about the game, right? Because you understand the state of Halo is not good. So yeah, money always matters, but like, come on.
You're breathtaking.
Aaron!
You're all
$5 super chat. Wanted to hear my thoughts on guess your rank for Halo Infinite, like Jinxie does. Might be fun on the channel. I think it's a good idea, Aaron. I haven't tried it. I'd be down to try it. I don't know when I would try it. I think it's a good idea. If you guys don't know what he's talking about, basically, like the community would submit gameplay, and I would watch the gameplay from the community, and I would make a guess on your rank just based off of what I'm seeing in like a clip, basically. So I have an opportunity to trash or gas you guys in your gameplay. Thank you, Dragon. Contract buyout required for pro teams? Yeah, so the conversation would go down and then there would be a buyout process because like ultimately the owner of the org is going to decide, you know, like they own the players. They're going to decide like what they think is fair before they release them on their contracts or whatever. Oh, thank you for the $2. Let's go. It's a good way to start the week, huh? With Optic versus Final Boss Scrims and the new sponsor, bro. My God. Stop playing Halo. Rather watch my stream. Hey, I mean, as long as you're supporting in some way, I want you guys to play Halo, but I hear you. What's up, Martin? Yeah. SSG would dominate this season. We would have... Yeah, well, we'll see. SSG, you know, hopefully they can find some more progress soon. You didn't see the YouTube title, Toucan? Joined Optic, bro. No, I'm kidding. Oh my God, make it 3. I believe. Nice trade at a last shot. He milked that till the final second and forced the beatdown. Still 3 different kills. You'd think that FaZe would come out with an opportunity of it. But it's 3-3. They dropped Legend. Yeah, Legend has not been performing up to standard, so they said, you know what, it's Shyway's turn. Unacceptable. That's the thing, yeah, current SR could actually go up against last year's SSG, interestingly, right? Like, that team could have been formed as a team to contest SSG. And who knows which team would be better. That is an interesting dialogue. That matchup would be really intense, honestly. Not going to lie. That'd be a good matchup. The game continues to evolve. The players playing it continue to evolve. Subtle things have changed in the meta this year, too. But, you know, everybody's going to want a piece of SSG in 2025 coming out of that World Championship. So I kind of understand Legend, his mentality to kind of just reset things and get hungry again about winning, right? He's working with a new org. He's got new pressure on him that he's never had before. You jump into a whole new challenge. It's, you know, like that's exciting. And that's what it's about in the end of the day. It's about being the best. It's about the legacy for these players, I would assume, right? Like, the money definitely matters. And maybe there are some players more than others who are like, they got a talent for the game. They're a pro player, and that's not going to change anytime soon. They're comfortable in where they're at. They don't have to win. I don't know. There are definitely some pros, like the ones in Optic, who winning is like what matters most, right? Money comes secondary to it. If anything, they probably are making a decent amount of money, and that's not their concern. It's just fueling their passion to create a legacy in this game while they can, or in Halo while they can. If you want to sponsor me live, a sponsor sheet, I don't. What are you referring to, Otozi? I do not have a sponsor sheet at the moment. I'm really baiting a lot of you guys in the YouTube with that, huh? How you doing, Frankie? See, I can't tell if you guys are serious and saying congrats anymore, if you just don't get the joke, or somebody in chat has to help my chatters out so that they're informed. What date is it today, guys? What's the date today? It is April 1st, which means, who do I secretly root for? I mean, I think it's fair to say that we're Optic fans. I think people have a lot of assumptions about why I like supporting Optic, though. Like, there you go, Sector. Like, I don't know. It's you know, obviously they have viewers and whatnot, but that's not really it. Like, I just like the players. Like, they've shown me nothing but support and respect, the Optic team. So that's like the main reason why. Like, I was really thinking about it, you know, why I enjoy seeing them win. Formal and that whole team has shown me a lot of respect and has been supportive. That matters a lot to me. Not to say that other players haven't necessarily. Like, Last Shot's been incredible. I see varying amounts of support from different pros and players in the scene, but Optic has always been great to me, or Formal has. Formal and that team always has. I also had Blondie to thank for that too, though. Blondie hangs out here sometimes too. Hard not to be a fan, you know, when certain players give you a good reason to, on top of the fact that they're nasty. Last Shot's pretty great for sure. He's good vibes, man. He's fun to watch. Trippy's good vibes too. At the end of the day, like, you know, what I want most is for you guys to love Halo and for the game to be popular. So that's most what I'm focused on, but I do like seeing Optic win. April on your fools. TMI, Max. I didn't need to know that, brother.
You're breathtaking.
Oh, thank you.
You're all breathtaking.
Do you think Formal retires after this year? If he does, does Optic pull completely from Halo Infinite? No idea. Formal, in that video that I'm going to show a little bit later on Brower's YouTube channel, you guys can watch it if you like. He talks for like 5 minutes, and he says he would like to keep competing in Halo if there's like an opportunity to keep doing it. Like, he seemed like he was, you know, like, if there's opportunity in tournaments and a 5th year of HCS or whatever, and he wins in, you know, year 4, let's say, then it seems like he's still hungry to compete. But that's up to them. Thank you. Predictions for Season 4. SR will win the first event. Optic will tighten up and win 2 after. I wonder, Ryan. See, there's definitely the ongoing dialogue about like second place. You know, he keeps getting second. So if they don't win Arlington, that dialogue is going to be heated. Just so you know. It's like Kaysan is one thing, and the Kaysan, some people, you know, we got a conversation about the ruling and the format in the Kaysan major. You know, it's not a major in the invitational, right? It's also the fact that it's not a major contributes to the discussion too. But with Arlington, there's none of that, right? The format's going to be fine for Arlington. You got to win that one. If you don't, you know, not that Formal even listens to what people say. He's just focused on his own game, I'm sure. But the dialogue is going to be pretty heated. Hey, Penguin. Thank you, man. Vibes within the SSG team not performing. Is it a personality thing? Honestly, Lucid was on an interview. It's on Reddit. Oh, that was slick at a trippy. Just wasn't enough, man. He can't trade that. Is it last shot? Somebody hitting the... I don't know. It wasn't him. Hit the G-slide off the inside of tires, I think. Came in with the beatdown trade. That's all they needed. There's an interview with Lucid from the Kaysan Invitational that's on Reddit, and it was a good interview. He talked about, it was the first time we got to listen to Lucid kind of just like talk about his team and the dynamics between them. We got to listen to like a listen-in with SSG. They sounded good together. I don't know, it gave me like a better perspective on where his head's at.
This is the way.
And I felt a little bit more optimistic about their improvement. Boosh, thank you for the follow. Who's the nicest pro? I don't know, bro. I don't know them like, you know, super on a super personal level to like make a choice like that. So what I would say is check out that interview. Maybe I can find it. And then let me know what you think about how the team's vibes are, because it sounded pretty good, honestly. Sounded scary. That's crazy, Sephiroth. Bro, that's crazy. We're twinning, bro. We're twinning. That's what I like to see. Was carrying Optic. Russ need to step it up. Yeah, I mean, Renegade's like playstyle in comparison to his teammates is one that sort of like steals a lot of the spotlight. Like he comes into the fight generally after his teammates and he cleans up a lot of the kills. He gets has really high KDA. He popped off in that live fire game. He absolutely was the MVP of that game. That he went on what, like a frenzy or something like that at the end. That was insane. First like FaZe, I think. But also note that his role on the team has him generally cleaning up a lot of kills. So it gives him like, it lets him shine in a more obvious way, if that makes sense. That's not to say the Renegade is an MVP because he's been playing like one, but the other teammates do bring something to the picture. It might not be as obvious, you know, as getting kills. Link to the chat. So, bro, like it's on competitive Halo subreddit. We just type Lucid. There it is. This is interview with Lucid and his thoughts on SSG. And don't you dare leave the chat. You can read it on a separate tab. No, I'm kidding. Do what you want. Devastated after that loss on Saturday. Dude was really bummed. Hate seeing him like that. I mean, that's like anyone, any of these top players, Connor. Yeah, he definitely showed it. The whole team was... Yeah, they don't like losing. Only so many kills to go around. Yeah, for sure. Well, it's just so like, for example, Bound's playstyle is very aggressive and he's generally like first in. He's creating a lot of opportunities for Optic, but he dies in the process and then he'll get players weak and then Renegade from a better, safer position can clean it up. Sometimes. It doesn't always happen like that. Bound's been dying a lot recently too. I don't know if that's like a lack of coordination on Optic's side or if he's playing a little too hard for himself, taking too many risks. He played better on LAN, though. Legend was having a little bit of trouble in the LAN, like more than I anticipated early on. I feel like he picked it up later. And he was part of the reason why they clutched up versus FaZe. But the fact that they had to clutch up versus FaZe was kind of scary, right? In their first matchup. I feel like in comparison to online performance, Legend might have been the, like, sort of the weakest, I guess. Like, not to call people out. Like, in comparison to, like, how high the bar is set for him, you know? And how he was playing online. All talk, Tommy. The day is Scrims. How we doing, Rocky? Welcome, brother. Can't trust anything pros say. Like, of course, he's not going to be like, yeah, I regret making this move. What, Lucid? Who are we talking about there? Like, some of the moves that the pros had to make were just kind of a result of the circumstances that they were in, right? Like, when the roster mania went down, Lucid had to make choices. Do it, yes. 2. Oh, come on. He has a frame perfectly timed jump when you hit that invisible barrier at the bottom of the floor. I don't know how it works, like, or like why it works like that. But there's like a little tiny, thin, invisible barrier in that corner. You drop on it and frame perfectly hit jump. And you can do it an infinite amount of times if you hit it perfect every time. But if you miss it by like a frame or two, then you drop to your death. It's pretty cheesy, but it's kind of slick. In an oddball, if you're like last alive and you want a couple extra seconds. Anyway. Yeah, in comparison to his online stats, I agree, Riz. I know he didn't choose his team. My point is, he's going to tell fans what they want to hear. Yeah, maybe. It could be a little bit of that. It could be a little bit of, like, we're making too many assumptions about where his head's at and, like, how things are going, you know? Safe to say, like, as spectators, it's easy to, like, doom and gloom and see the stats and be like, yeah, they're imploding, you know? Like, but legitimately, like, we never hear their comps, so I really don't know, like, how they kind of respond to things not going well and what their conversations are like. Like, their comms actually sounded really good on LAN. Safe to say they're aware of the fact that they're underperforming. Like, what can you do? Like, gotta have a champion mentality. Safe to say they all have been champions before, so they got a pretty strong mentality. And they're good at bringing the best out of their circumstances because nothing's changing for Arlington, right? Like, they have to in their minds believe that they have what it takes to win, and truthfully, like, occupy that belief, or else what's the freaking point, right? After Arlington, maybe those other, you know, thoughts that maybe this isn't the team can creep in, but right now, like, you got to believe that you deserve to win this Arlington event. Yeah, you like it, Timber? Optic versus Final Boss, bro. It's the long-anticipated matchup. 08 FB. They're coming back. They're all pushing 40, but, you know, they're still cracked. It's April 1st, Timber. Happy April Fool's Day. I've never done April Fool's jokes with my community before, and I might start doing it every year now. You guys are all falling for it. Who's this? This is Last Shot's POV on SR versus FaZe. That's the scrim we're watching today. Sorry for the confusion, guys. It's SR versus FaZe. I'm not sure what game we're on at this point. SR's been winning just about all of them, to be honest. That was disgusting. Out of Last Shot. Hits the G-slide sticky flyby for, what, a 14 and 6 KD. This guy's looking gross. It's just a little too easy for SR, man. Like, they're the more they play, the better they look. And it's, you know, great if you're a Shopify fan, but are they just going to, like, dominate everybody, right? I think the dialogue is Optic, like, need to really... What is happening here? Optic got to keep leveling up, too, so we can get the proper Super Saiyan showdown at the very least in Grand Finals, right? Looks like he's cheating sometimes. Obviously, yeah, I get what you're saying. He's got a good high sensitivity, super responsive sensitivity, but he controls it really well too. Snaps around the battlefield. He's always got his reticle in the perfect location. Like, even that right there, the way he snapped to the right, he didn't snap directly up to the door. He snapped below the door into, like, where Falcated fell, and he let him fall into the reticle. But it happened so quickly and so effortlessly. And it's something that you can't, like, explain. Like, you just have to, I don't know, like, he's just talented, you know? You can practice a lot, and you might build muscle memory over practice, but some people, it does feel like some people just sort of have a knack for this shit. Because every recorrect that he does goes to the perfect location without wasted space. But it's fast. It's, like, faster than most other players. just like sometimes the community is more correct about things than pros lead on, like Lethal. Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of the assumptions we're making are probably not wrong. Like the fact that SSG is a team composed of veteran players and they don't seem to have the same sort of fiery like passion. They're not like mean. They're not, you know what I mean? Like the way that SR and Optic were activating against each other when they were locked in, like that type of dialogue and that type of energy is something that I feel like is absent on SSG, right? There's like a fierce, there's a gear that they can activate when they're winning where they're just shitting on you, you know, and you're like afraid of them. And Optic showcased that in the Solitude Slayer to win the winners finals, and then SR clapped right back on him in the final turn. What is it? The grand finals, right? SR had that same energy right back on him, and that's what makes it exciting to watch those guys because they both they'll chirp each other and get cocky when they start winning, you know? Like really make you feel it. I feel like SSG is almost like too polite. Not as scared of him. Base comms were intense. I didn't hear a lot of the... Yeah, actually... I'm sure they were. No. But it's all just speculation, bro. Did I trick you, Carl? My top 3 favorites from VP. What's VP? No way. Wait, he said it and then he backed up. Are they done? It was 8-1 SR. Might have ended at like 9-1. That's a short scrim. What's up, Colorado? How we doing? Rider of Souls, welcome. Gotta show some grit. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Yeah, they definitely just like laugh a lot, you know, Katie? Like they seem like good buddies and they're kind of like trolling. They have the vibes of a team that's just better, you know, for sure. SR are like, they have a good chemistry with each other. They know how to like activate and get scary when they need to, but they're also just like having fun and kind of trolling, you know. Is it Knock? Thank you for the YouTube or the Twitch follow.
Yo, what's going on, chats? Esposito with a 20 stream streak. W mans, bro. W fucking mans.
I think that's it for his grind, bro. We had the Halo Data Hive feed up. Then we could look at some videos. Investor gamble. No, not really. Opium. Maybe if we keep grinding and you know, find some success here in Halo, I'll have some income for that. But no gambling. I'm not really into that. Because they're just getting slammed? I don't know, man. Safe to say that, like, we just came out the Kaysan Invitational, so people are kind of maybe taking a day or two. I think that's Optic's position, at least. They could be VOD reviewing. Like, you know, we don't know what they're doing off their stream. But kind of slow getting back into scrims, maybe. There were other scrims that were taking place. Like, I got, like, 8 POVs here, right? So, Kruvu, Spartan was in a scrim. I think his scrim is done. Piggy on LG. Mortally got off, which makes me think that LG scrim might be done, too. Though it says 2-2 right now. Triggers down, luminosity is 2-2. So we can actually see Piggy's POV in that scrim. 9-1 was the final score. Interesting. Thought I'd join their media team. Yeah, it'd be nice, huh? Like as a content creator or analyst. Outslayed him by 82. Surprised maybe getting a little bit more shut down in this scrim than we're used to seeing him, because he does tend to come out, at least recently, come out as a main slayer. Trippy had the most slays on FaZe this time around. Frosty, lower stats. It's interesting how Frosty is sort of like a sleeper in scrims, but on LAN and in tournaments when needed, he becomes an MVP. Not that he was in this scrim necessarily, but his scrim stats in this one at least weren't as, you know, impressive as his LAN stats, that's for sure. He's like main slayer and best KD on LAN or in like tournaments. Cycle with 184, last shot right behind him. Cycle with the most damage, the most assists, and the least deaths, and most kills in the lobby. Right? Cycle is gross, man. 2.01 KDA in that scrim. 60 accuracy as well. He was the MVP. Wow. Last shot did excellent too. Cycle should stream his POV more. It'd be nice. And that's where the addiction begins. Killinac, right? Or Killinac, whatever. How do I say your name? Killniak? You gamble, you make money. You're up heavy, and then you lose it, and you're like, oh, I can always win it back. And then, yeah. Just keep doubling down, yeah. Dangerous game to play.
Not quitting. How dare.
That doesn't sound like scrims. Oh, that was short-lived. Hold on.
Bro, there's also a sim too where
Switches it on for LAN when it matters, right? It's almost like strategic to be that way too, because it's like, you know, you kind of throw your opponents off guard by like how much better he's playing, if anything. So this is formal thoughts coming out of the Kaysan Invitational on the weekend.
bro, there's also a sim too where like at the end of that Kali Slayer, I'm not gonna lie, the game turned to war. The game turned to war at the end of the game. Like I didn't know what was going on. They were spawning everywhere. Like shit was popping off. But I was running from blue fountain to blue elbow with snipe because I realized there was a guy behind me blue cave. Like we're so split up, dude. Yeah, the score was like 41 to 43, right? I had a chance to no scope body shot and just DMR last shot on blue silver. Dude, there's a sim where like I just no scope body shot last shot, and I like even though Frosty's from behind me, I get out like to silver with my shields. And then as soon as I turn back around, last shot like jumps out silver and starts fighting me, but I had a chance to like snipe him. I just whiffed the body shot, dude. And I was like so committed to it, you know? Like I was like, dude, I'm just going for it.
Spicy.
I missed the body shot, so I ended up having like a scammy death. But if I no scope him and kill him, then there's a sim where it gets weird. It was already getting weird.
There's a sim where
he spawned cave. He did? That's another thing too, bro. I don't know the origin spawns like.
We could check and see if he spawned cave. We'll go back.
Like down to a T yet, bro. Like
I do remember Frosty was just like behind formal.
You need to know that though, you'll get it. Well, I don't know exactly what was up, dude. Like I said, the game felt like war, bro. I just remember being blue maze with snipe. I'm like thinking it's about to be like a calm down moment of the game, and I'm like, all right, I have snipe, bro. Like let me just work this. And I just start getting shot in the back from blue cave, and it's like, oh, back to war. Frosty's been playing Origin for 9 years, she said.
Bro, I thought he was 100% guaranteed dead at the end too, because the way that he was backing off was like under freaking blue base in these like exposed to so many. He almost lived, which was crazy.
Yeah, but bro,
like there actually was
in this
a play
game are nothing like
opportunity
H5s, bro. Nothing like H5s. There's squad spawns in this game, bro. H5, you could predict every single spawn.
He didn't really play H5, but he's right in saying.
I mean, I think that's true. That's what my teammates tell me. You could predict every single spawn.
Yeah, H5 Kali in both CTF and Slayer, the spawns like were consistent. So you could basically predict every single spawn. I don't know if it was like that locked in, if I'm just misremembering, but like Frosty, I think was a good example. He would always have it perfectly. Like he'd have every spawn prepped in advance. He would just guess.
In this game, like there's just certain spawns that happen. It happens a lot on like Aquarius Slayer too. I don't really know for sure like exactly where they're spawning. Like you could like on Aquarius Slayer, you can kill someone. You can wipe a team in yellow flag. You start pushing back out, thinking they're gonna spawn blue, and they'll spawn yellow again behind you.
Yeah,
like
it doesn't make any sense. And what he's talking about is like there's so many different weightings to how the spawn system works, right? And it's like different from map to map.
That is just good Halo
Rumble.
right there. That is just damn good Halo.
My God, 3 months in advance. Rumble nuts. Let's go, brother. Thank you for the sub. Welcome to the channel. I appreciate you, man. Yeah, spawns don't feel like identical in the way they work from map to map. I don't know if it has something to do with like sight lines and like what players are exposed to and whatnot. No, but like everything he's saying is factual though. Like in Aquarius, the team spawn influence is very heavy. So if you back off of a player, you're not actively shooting him, then a teammate will spawn on him. However, if players die, their deaths leave a lingering negative influence in that spawn area. So if you wipe out people in yellow and you leave and they somehow spawn yellow again, it doesn't really make sense based on what we know about the spawn system, right? So it's like as if there's other variables in the map that are pulling the spawns over there that don't fully, that are difficult to understand. And the weighting of all the variables feels different, right? So like in Kali, it might be different. Like the team spawn influence in Kali might not be as powerful as it is on Aqua, and there might be a higher possibility that spawns split and flip around the map. But to know that to a T, you're gonna have to play the game a lot and start to get better at predicting like how it works. Safe to say though, it's not consistent like it was in Halo 5. Like it's not readable in the same way.
Yeah, it doesn't even like make sense. Like I don't even understand that.
Yeah.
The thing about this game is if a spawn is
like rarely do you have pros. It's not just formal because like Snakebite has talked about this too. Like several different pros have like shown clips where like they themselves don't understand why this spawn happened in this location. There's been an update to the spawn system in like the middle of like last year or something because people felt that the spawns changed when they changed to the bandit starting weapon because something to do with the cone, like the aim distance, the optimal like aim distance for the bandit was like different and shorter than the BR. So it had a different spawn influence effect on sightline based spawns, if that makes sense. Like, so they made an adjustment there to try to make it like more aligned with the way it was in the previous season. And then they also took spawns at a bottom mid, like on recharge, right? So like there's been a lot of like different updates and we're still like not sure what the hell's going on sometimes. On
open,
recharge as well,
there.
bro.
That's
Recharge has been confusing.
If a spawn is open, they can spawn there. And like you can try your best to prepare for that.
Yeah, it's because of everything. It's like squad spawning. So the power of your teammate and his proximity to you, that has an effect on the spawn. Your opponents and where they're located and what they're looking at, whether or not they're shooting people, that has an effect on the spawn, right? So like there's so many different variables. Whether or not players died in that location previously, that has an effect on the spawn. So like sometimes it just doesn't make sense where like I'll be on like recharge and somebody just got done with a fight and he's alive in A. And there's no fight anymore, but his teammate still spawns in C in long, like seconds later, after the fight is done and dusted, and that player is like sitting in A, right? Where why isn't he team spawning in A in that moment? Why is he flipping to C? Because sometimes, or not to C, but like flipping to long haul. Because sometimes if that happens, the spawn system kind of gifts players optimal map control almost like accidentally in a way that doesn't make sense, right? Because that happened in the finals of one of the open tournaments. Like Cycle spawned in long, opposite from his teammate who was just sitting in A, and then they had map control around C, and they just did like a C collapse in strongholds.
But like, there's just times where like you're just gonna get lucky spawns. Like we were getting lucky spawns throughout the series. They were getting lucky spawns throughout the series.
Everybody does.
It just happens randomly, dude. But on a positive note, our Slayers did, dude. The fact that we came back in that Street Slayer, like fighting that hard, bro, like playing perfect, like that's a really good thing. Like going into the rest of the year. Obviously,
that's facts. I think that like Optic. They've done it twice. Online versus SSG, that insane comeback, like 37-23. And on LAN versus SR, that comeback on Streets down by like 12 was actually crazy, right? Like that was hype to witness. Now you could chalk it up and say like SR was just choking, and maybe they were making mistakes. But the fact that Optic had that gear that they can access to make a comeback like that, that's something that feels fundamentally different than previous years' Optic. I don't feel like the last year's Optic had that kind of gear where they could make a 12-kill Slayer comeback when it looked like it was over, right? Like, and seeing that they could actually do that, I think is a positive to look at, you know, in their ability.
Losing today sucks. Dude, I'm not happy that we lost.
Yeah.
I've just been around for so long, dude. Like I can at least take the L's and try to pick apart some good from it. I think being down a lot and coming back is a good or bad thing.
Well, I mean, Brian, so yeah, doesn't variable spawning equate to better gameplay? You have to think on your feet. I mean, like historically in Halo, the way the spawn system works is like when you get kills, you get an advantage in how how you control the map and the spawns that you choose to create, right? So if that becomes randomized, then you no longer gain an advantage for winning a scenario anymore, right? If anything, sometimes you end up in a disadvantage for winning a scenario. And that's kind of like problematic, at least as far as like how Halo's operated since it came out, right? And it's been to varying degrees. Like Halo CE was like, you could manipulate spawns probably too much. You know, that wouldn't fly today. But in CE, that was a big part of the competitive dynamic in that game. just about every other Halo game, you earn your advantage when you get your kills and your map control and the spawns go where you expect them to. And I'm not saying Infinite's completely broken and that doesn't still happen, because it does. But there are situations where like a team will win a scenario and then lose the following one because the spawns do something that kind of random, and that just doesn't seem like good game design, right? Like it's like chess. If you make the right play, you now put your opponent in like a checkmate, or you put them in a difficult situation where they're forced to, come out of it.
It's
and
both,
outthink
bro.
the situation,
Like, obviously,
not
we're
get
putting up a lot
to
of
spawn, right?
to start that game, and that's why we go down so much. But for us to like not give up and to actually battle like that is a really good thing.
Yeah, that's a good
I mean, obviously, I kind of was pissed about the back reset thing, like in the moment. But at the end of the day, bro, like if we were just better at those game modes that we're bad at, we win.
That's a healthy way to look at the situation, I think. Like, I wouldn't say Formal's, like, I think it's fair for him to be disappointed, even if they knew in advance. The rule set was completely unique. We've never seen a Halo tournament that both didn't have a bracket reset or any advantage offered for the team that won winners finals. If anything, they're almost at like a disadvantage. And Formal, so he's recognizing that. He's disappointed about it, but at the same time, like, they could have just won that best of 7. If they want to be the best team in the world, they got to win that best of 7. So he's, he's like looking inwardly on that. And I think that's a good mentality.
I think it's my last year competing in Halo. I mean, I hope not. Although I don't think there's even going to be events. Really, right? Like
so
5 Halo Infinite, I don't think that's...
He hopes it's not his last year competing, by the way. So he still does seem to want to continue competing. I think if things go well this year, then we could see more Formal, which would be nice. If we get more...
I'm honestly genuinely surprised it was year 4.
Yeah.
Was Search that bad? Bro, Search was horrible. Horrible. Horrible, bro. By the end of the game, we were all running at each other with shotguns. Imagine Valorant, but everyone's buying shotguns and just judging each other. Yeah, I mean, like, dude, the game modes definitely did not favor us in the final, which is like our fault though.
Thank you, Fed.
We can't control what game modes are going to be in a series. Like, if there was a like an oddball or a flag instead of bomb, like aqua flag instead, like who knows what happens. But at the end of the day, if we were just better at those game modes, we just win.
Yeah, that's literally facts right there, right? You can't control what game modes you get in Halo. That's why there was no veto advantage. When, despite the fact that they won winners finals, there's never been a veto system, or at least like in how competitive works, right? It's always the maps, at least in HCS, are decided by HCS. I don't know if it's randomized or how it works, but point being, like, even though Optic have good maps and they could have gotten that in the series, having bad maps is on them. They got to lock in on their bad maps and figure out how to play them.
It just exposed that we just need to get better. We need to get better at Coliseum, both Flag and Slayer. I mean, it's not like we're not trying to. We have made like strides in Coliseum Flag. Like we've gotten better at certain things. It's just that they're really good at that map.
Yeah.
We just need to get better at it. That's like all there is to it. And same with Aquarius Bomb. Like Aquarius Bomb, we can't give up as many cams as we did. First of all, like we know how they're gonna play it. But when they have camo, it makes it a lot easier on them for sure. And we were also just having like so many scam deaths throughout that map. Bro, if we had Pit Flag still, oh my, bro, I loved Pit Flag, bro. It's one of my favorite game modes. But at the end of the day, like I said, we just got to get better at the game modes that we lost. Because, like, imagine there was live fire strongholds instead of recharge strongholds. Or even, like, oddball recharge instead of strongholds recharge. Like, we could have very easily had a better map set and won. Mm-hmm. And then we wouldn't have gotten much better at those game modes leading into Arlington. We won 3-2 and then lost 4-3. It's actually crazy that we're, like, tied in map count versus them. We tied 6-6 today, and I think overall it was, like, 27-27 or something before this trip.
Yeah, they're tied 33-33, which is crazy, bro. They played 66 games, and they're still tied in game wins.
It's like all online. Yeah, they are good at Origin. We got to get better at that map. This is a duo you guys have never expected, by the way. It's just me and Penguin. Just blacked out, searching MM. The blacked out duo right now.
It's cool to see them playing together. Coming off of the Optic team, right?
What are your thoughts on SSG winning against FaZe?
Catalyst, yeah.
Honestly, we played FaZe pretty tight, but I think we were also playing really bad against FaZe today. I can't lie. I think we were just like running around extra hard just because it was like the first time we were playing together on lane or something. Like we won, but the games were very close. We could have easily lost all those games.
They were super close. But yeah, I think those are like good takes, like good level-headed takes out of Formal. Some of the comments on here were like, I guess the ones that are getting upvoted are the correct ones, right? He's in a better mental after losing. That's good. Yeah, this is good. Some other people were like, oh, excuses. Tired of getting second. Drink every time. Okay, well, yeah, sure.
This is the way.
This is not bad. I thought it was bad like earlier. Matthew Calderon. Let's go. Thank you for the YouTube follow, brother. Welcome. Anyway, I think those are good level-headed takes from somebody who, like, despite the fact that Kaysan, the event didn't go as expected, he recognizes where he's got to improve, and just lock in. It's a joke, Max. It's a freaking joke. You know that. Lucid interview. We showed that earlier. if you guys want to hear Lucid's mentality on his team where he's at right now, right? Lucid shares his thoughts. We'll go right to that.
In that building block, progressing more and more and more, and it's making sure that when things go wrong, like we can still build ourselves back up right away.
What do you guys
think? Right now, that's the biggest thing. Of
yeah, the teams for the showdown were what? Like it was like Legend, Renegade, Lucid. They were cracked as hell. And Stellar, dude. That was an insane team. They're like
I
fantasy
think the feeling
teams.
that I get from us is like it just keeps progressing. Like we're getting that building block, progressing more and more and more, and it's making sure that when things go wrong, like we can still build ourselves back up right away. Because right now, that's the biggest thing. Of like things go wrong, things can go very wrong. Sure. But minimizing that, because when things are going right for us, it's a thing of beauty, and it's like making sure that we have more of that and no nuclear moments. We're so close in so many, should be winning so many more, and we're just not. It's probably 50% of the time right now in terms of being on the same page, and that's not even. And we've talked so much, and we're gonna keep doing that. Just be scared for what's gonna happen whenever we tighten up.
I like that. He said, "Be scared." Right? That's good to hear out of Lucid. Some confidence there. He's saying the biggest thing that seems to be hurting them is they're like 50% of the time they're on the same page, so they're kind of having trouble, I guess, linking up and being on the same page throughout the game, right? Matching their timings. I think it's fair to say that SSG as a team composition, like a lot of these players have had to change the way that they're used to playing and the way they think about playing Halo in their playstyles, right? Like Lucid's playstyle is, I want to say, like a little bit more passive and sort of setup oriented and works off opportunities created in front of him rather than being the aggressive guy who's making the opportunities happen, if that makes sense, right? So like a lot of these players have had to kind of speed up and change dynamics in their gameplay that they might not be used to or comfortable with. So it could take longer for them to be on the same page. But the fact that he's got that mentality is good. You need to have a championship mentality, and you need to lock in and believe you're the best at this point if you want any chance of winning and coming back in Arlington, or else what's the point, right? Like, what are you doing, right? So if they showed any signs of faltering or lacking confidence, that would be very problematic. And obviously that's what the fans want to hear as well. But I do genuinely think that his mentality is a good one. Like, you're a champion for a reason. The whole team is a series of champs for a reason, right? But in the end of the day, the competition's not getting any less fierce. So that's the thing. Is like, can they find it and get that, figured out and be on the same page more often? Or is SR, who already seem to be on the same page, are they just going to keep building and keep getting farther ahead, So it's a tricky dynamic. But yeah. I'd seen like some tweets about Optic, like formal like buying the team. We talked about that a little bit and how that's like not really true. People have like kind of questionable ideas as to like how everything went down, and they sort of want to demonize certain players, and that's fine. You can be fans of who you want to be fans of. I sort of had a take on that, but I can't find the link I was looking for. Is there something else that I can watch with you guys? We're light on scrims today. Grand Finals VOD review. Oh, we could actually take a look at that last moment in Grands and see what happened there, like with the spawn. So it's difficult for me to review these games like I normally would in the theater because I don't think I'll have access to theater because they happened in LAN separately from the typical like online matchups that we watch. I think these teams need to stay together for more than a year. I don't know about that, bro. A year is the entire season. Can't expect them to be the best team as they are just starting together. Look at other professional teams like in the NBA. A lot of teams need that longevity. It's a little bit different and more volatile in esports, unfortunately. Like, hopefully we can get to a point where there's enough money in the sport, where there's stability that can justify sticking things out for a long period of time and staying around. But like, it's literally a matter of like, if you don't get it together and get it together quickly, then like you're just hemorrhaging your funds and like not, you know what I mean? Like the orgs aren't making money. Players aren't really making money. It's different in the NBA when everybody's getting millions. It's such a successful sport, like that allows them like the time to think things out and to find the chemistry. I don't think there's a VOD from the LAN. This is the VOD right here. What do you mean? Yeah, I got copyright strikes from like 3 songs provided by HCS that they used in the LAN, which I thought was interesting. And I had to remove them from my YouTube VOD afterwards. It demonetized my VOD. They're supposed to be free. Like, I should dispute it or something. I don't know. Cholo, how we doing? I might play, Lords. I might play. Not really fiending to, but Some tips? What about tips?
Talk about the wiggles. That one goes.
It's the very end right there. Renegade needing to AI scan for the sniper, bro. I swear he doesn't have that button mapped. It's like on his D-pad or something, and he doesn't know where it is. Just I don't know. Because there's a separate time where I noticed Renegade like could have, when we were watching him in scrims, he like didn't AI scan for a sniper.
And now
I don't know if he like doesn't prioritize it. Okay, did Frosty actually spawn cave is the question, because I don't think he did. I think he spawned back blue. Still though.
Down enough for Shopify to get on the map! The legend!
Disgusting shot.
When you need to hit shots, it's the biggest one. 3 dead again for Shopify.
no more room to
There is
trade.
no way this
He
is...
spawned in back blue, yeah. And I guess the reason being, Frosty died on the elbow previously. Last shot is lingering on the blue elbow in this case, and it could be a team spawn, right? And this is something that didn't happen in Halo 5, like just off the bat. Is
When you need to hit shots, it's the biggest one.
the spawn system gives the enemy team a perimeter in this game, right?
3
So
dead
like,
again for...
last shot is lingering on the elbow of blue. There's a negative influence on the red elbow because that player just died in that red elbow. And with last shot nearby, it
Shopify.
spawns
No
him
more room to
in
trade.
no...
there, right? So it creates a perimeter for the team with the spawn system. This is just a mechanic in the game. Halo 5, it wouldn't work like that. Like a team spawn in Halo 5 would be like on the elbow, like near last shot, like down low or like up high, like literally like beside him or something, you know? It wouldn't be as... Because this type of map control allows a player to kind of get involved and get into the cave immediately, and he gets the flank on Formal. Despite how in close proximity they are, right? Like they're kind of close by. I think it's because of where last shot's located right now.
When you need to hit shots, it's the biggest one. 3
Anyway, it's just hard to read. The spawn makes sense by like Halo Infinite standards, but it all happens so quickly. It's an 8-second spawn timer in Slayer.
dead again for Shopify.
No more room to
There is
trade.
no way this is
After
happening.
this.
No more
after
room
this,
to trade
kill
here.
that.
45-41, and it's been amazing from Optic. Once again, they were trailing by 11, and
So Frosty just like slow walks it out from back base, I guess, and sneaks his way through.
now it's a 4-kill game.
If he hit that, that would have blew my freaking mind, right? He had one opportunity there to be a god. He's done it
not hit the
before.
shot.
This escape is wild, right? Like he's in like no man's land now, where you'd think he'd be
One under
screwed.
pressure.
Needs to
Legend
stay
gets
alive.
one onto Royal 2.
Cuts the angle with this thrust was nice,
brings
though.
Shopify within.
That was his opportunity that he was talking about. Last shot jump challenging out to Silver, and he's also like Formal's playing this in a way that's kind of scammy, like he said. So like Formal has to hit that shot. If he doesn't, he's like 100% dead, right?
But the trade from Cycle brings.
He walked out far. Like the angle that he's taken, he's now like disconnected himself from any source of cover pretty far, right? Like this is risky.
Shopify within
If he takes any damage and misses the shot, he's like 100. I'm surprised he didn't just get 5'd, honestly.
4.
Like he actually fell to the floor
With
before
a very
dying,
big push and a very big.
which is surprising.
Brings Shopify
He could have maybe like stayed closer to the hexagon beside him or whatever, but
within.
he just kind of put himself in a position where he wanted to hit an important shot.
That's going to be huge here. Frosty cleans up 47-40.
And then Renegade's like looking around. Where's the
3
sniper?
kills to go.
Right? And then we're like, AI scan, bro.
Optic just trying
I
to
think he
survive.
just did it. We can't see AI scan. I think he just did, right? And then he
5
figures out he's like on the corner beside him.
Minutes.
But like this is a critical moment too where
Optic just trying to survive.
I don't know. I think like I've seen other players who are very quick to AI scan. They've got it mapped. They're like ready for something like that. It just allows you to find the weapon in the perimeter or the vicinity like more quickly.
5 minutes remaining.
Sniper rifle gets picked up though.
Because like now he's just getting decked, right? Like if he had gotten there like 2 seconds earlier, then maybe he would have had a lineup or an opportunity. I don't know. You could see it on his cam that he's like, yeah, there's like a moment of like fluster where he's like, oh shit,
Optic just trying to survive.
5
where
minutes.
is the weapon, bro?
Sniper rifle gets picked up though.
Happens regularly during scrims. I don't know if it happens regularly during scrims, but I saw it happen once during scrims where he didn't AI scan. And I think he like missed a weapon and like disappeared.
Shot though shuts it down. Renegade will fall. 2 kills to go. But Shopify
How we doing,
Rebellion
Matthew?
to finally put Optic to bed.
And Shopify likely, unless they get the perfect advantage, they're not even going to try to push this. However, 2 players.
No, wait, what do you, whoa, hold, literally just an excuse. It's your job. Okay, hold on. See, you're one of those commenters. Formal wasn't the one that said, somebody in his chat said that he spawned cave, not Formal. Someone in his chat was like, he did spawn cave, and Formal was like, I don't know where he came from, is what Formal said, right? Like, Formal's not making an excuse. Like, he literally just says they have to work on the map, and they got to get better at playing the map. He literally said SR is just really good at that map. Like, bruh.
Optic to bed.
I was just responding to what his chat said. His chat said that the guy spawned in cave, and we just confirmed that his chatter was wrong, basically. He didn't spawn in cave. He spawned in back base. And the spawn made sense, but it also is pretty oppressive, though, how the spawn system works.
And Shopify.
That's just the game. In the end of the day, Informal recognizes that you just gotta win those. Tybo, thank you for the follow.
Unless they get the perfect advantage.
We just listened to Formal. If you weren't here, Max William, like he had pretty solid takes. His mindset coming out of that, he recognizes where he needs to improve, and that SR are good at these maps and game types that Optic have to work on.
Two players on the elbow. This is dangerous for Optic Gaming. 48-43, only 2 to go.
Bounty's going to find one, but Frosty, he gets his 14th of the game, and Frosty will close it out with a double kill. It's 50-44.
I don't know.
Mr. Collie.
Oh, Royal 2 right there. Am I covering it? I'm not.
The Oracle.
Right to Legend too. I mean,
of Origin will close it out with another fantastic.
What did Legend say? What did Legend call him when he got up? Do you call him like shitters? No. You're dog shit. He said they're fucking dog shit, right? When Legend won the winners finals.
Fantastic stat line.
I've never heard or seen Legend pop off like that, for the record, but that's a little clap back right there from Royal 2. Yeah. Cars tournament layout. Could it have been best of 7, no reset? OG needs 3 to win. Yeah, so there's a variety of ways it could have gone, right? It could have been best of 7, no reset, but OG get 1 game lead. I don't like that version personally because, I don't know, like you get an auto win of a game. I don't like anybody getting an auto win of anything. You know what I mean? But yeah, that's one way they could have done it. They could have done like a veto, but a veto hasn't like existed in competitive Halo esports, right? I think this is a Scrim POV. Yeah, it actually is. Tweeted what with emoji? Oh, like him popping off at the end? They could have had 2 best of 5s. That would have been the best idea, is to have 2 best of 5. Like a best of 5 with a bracket reset would have been, because their concern is like time constraints, right? So they're like, we don't want to do 2 best of 7s because we're going to be here till like 10, 11 p.m. or something. It ended pretty late, all things considered. But they could have done 2 best of 5s. That probably would have been a more fair decision to make in the end, in the interest of time. But yeah, I mean, despite all that, I understand that it was like communicated in advance, but it's just weird. We've never seen a tournament that offers no sort of advantage for the team that wins winners finals. Platinum team drop tapping? Is that the case? This is Kluver's team is what, Envor, Super CC, and Tony 2-turn, right? Is this Ether? What are they called? I don't think they've auto-qualified for Arlington, this team. I think they're just outside the qualification. Okay, GG. Final boss? I know, right, Kim? April Fool's, brother. April Fool's. Tony, yeah, he was really good in this first year of Infinite. One of those players, like, people were talking about kind of on the come up, and we didn't see him for about a year or 2. And he's kind of just been grinding a bit recently. Lucid is streaming. Lucid's not streaming scrims, though. He's just streaming casually, right? He was on G1. He was G1, not G2,
How
right?
many times have we spun up Snipe? And I've seen us.
I actually don't remember the G2 team. I'm not going to lie. I think Gilkey was on it. The original G2 team. I don't even know if they lasted till the end of the year, right? They stuck around for, I think, 1 year of Infinite.
We're fighting 2
Tony was
guys.
on G1,
Our
the first
numbers
iteration of
put
G1, I
on
think.
The tram side of the map. Why are we taking a fight instead of yard, instead of cutting through driveway?
I mean, what we talked about is sending someone bottom mid 2 through posters, and then that guy goes blue. It's just annoying. Then he cuts over from top hill to LR, or just goes.
HCS made the format. Okay, cool. Gotcha, Viltrumite.
I'm so confused. Why are we playing into yard when our
straight sick, I think, as well.
At tram side of the map, where also, like you don't have any help. If
it's an odd format, Vilt.
In their direction.
Gilkey, Sab, Straight Sick, Barcode. That was the team, right?
And also, like, we're supposed to be playing for the guy in tram, and then Tony, I told you to hit bottom mid, and then you kept hitting out through driveway, and I told you to go up LR and flank.
Yeah, it's not a single. It's again. So I'm not really sure how they made that layout, and then thought that would not result in concerns, right? Like, I think the main reason why there was such a, like, so many people were kind of upset about it was because of how insanely close Optic and SR are in the matchup, right? Like, game 7 it went to.
That we shouldn't shoot the guy hill first.
If SR just like mopped up Optic, then people wouldn't have cared as much, right? Because it's like, oh, that team is clearly better. But when Optic clapped back and showed that they can hang and it was very competitive, then it kind of like became more apparent that the format was like not really fair.
And then Lee died.
You should have played with them and made it a 3v2 to begin with, and that guy until just becomes useless. Either way, I'm just saying he still pushed out.
He does pop off. Yeah, maybe we just never heard what he says when he pops off, bro. Him saying like fucking dog shit like that was kind of like unexpected. How you doing, Taylor? We're chilling, man. We watched FaZe and SR earlier. It ended pretty quick. It was 10 games, 9-1 Shopify today.
Wherever the numbers are mostly like wherever a pair is playing out on the map, that's like the side that has to be played adjacent to, dude.
Okay. I'm like perfectly covering Lucid, aren't I?
Dude. Hey, we got camo.
He's got music playing too.
And you died. What the fuck are you doing back here?
On one extra map since the overall score was 6-6. Yeah, that wouldn't have made sense either, though. Be weird. I hear you, though. Game 5 in Winners Finals, right? Dark Horse player to watch this season. I don't know, probably somebody from like LG or like Druck on TSM or something.
These are bad dots.
Maybe like Sab on C9, right? Who are players that are kind of popping off within the top 6? Piggy, obviously, yeah.
Hey, Marathon, when it comes out, I might give it a try. I think anything Bungie related normally has a pretty good quality bar, so. Never been big on extraction shooters, though, to be honest.
Might make sense to grind. I have a YouTube video ready to go and upload. I might just post that, guys. This is what we're calling it right now. Wait, here's the thumbnail. Hold on. It's pretty basic. I don't know. Descendant? Yeah, somebody to watch out for. You know, I don't know if people are going to click it. We'll see. Nothing crazy.
Incredible. I don't know how we're still losing this game.
Blondie. I know, right?
That was not the playboard for it. That was not
we manifested it, I think. It finally happened. Bro, I'm out of coffee.
Wait, where did my teammate just go?
Optic wash. Nah, that's not my joke today. That's not the April Fool's joke. How you doing, Blondie?
Also, my nade insta-exploded.
You'll click it. That's what I want out of you guys, if you don't mind. I think what I'm going to do is just post this. And if you don't mind giving it some gas. Like it, comment, anything. I'd sincerely appreciate it. I'm just going to add tags, and then it's like literally ready to go. Trying to clickbait. The monster update? What's the monster update? Isn't like the monster
Stayed purple. I didn't need to move. I don't need to move
like the drink? Trying to cover his copyright music with Halo music. Hey guys, relax. Let's not have that conversation in my chat, please. Do it. Otherwise, what do we do? Is there something else that I can react to that's like significant today? Because I didn't expect the scrims to end so fast. Yeah, so we watched SR and FaZe today. Blondie, it ended like early in 10 games. It was a 9-1 scrim. There are scrims happening with like lesser known teams, I guess. Like we were watching Kruvu's POV a little bit. Luce is just playing matchmaking. I think he's scrimming SR tomorrow. I think Optic are scrimming tomorrow too, so tomorrow should be a big day. I have a YouTube video ready to go, so I might just like post it.
This is the way.
And hop off. React harder. Bugsy, thank you for the follow. We listened to and reacted to Formal's take on like his thoughts coming out of the Kaysan Invitational. I might actually post that. We might make a video out of that, like a quick video. Because I thought the Formal had like a pretty good level-headed sort of reaction to how everything went down with the Kaysan event. Seems like he's in the right headspace, like going forward to Arlington. 2017 World Champs, Halo 5. Bro, we could do a trip down memory lane. '17 World Champs has like AR starts still, no? Surprisingly good mood after. Yeah, I think like something that he brought up that I think like meant a lot was his ability, him and his team's ability to regain in that Slayer was crazy, right? That Street Slayer. I think just the fact that they have that within them is like, that's pretty crazy. Like they have this like ice comeback ability that I don't feel like the last version of Optic did have. And their comms in that Solitude Slayer were insane. Like they look better in Slayer on LAN than they have looked online, which is cool. Crazy Slayer games, yeah. Their confidence and their comms in the Solitude game was freaking nuts, bro. That's like the type of energy that, again, we didn't really see last year with Optic. Yeah, it was like a 11, 12 kill comeback. Somehow not their best comeback, right? Because they got that one on Aqua a week ago. Ever voiceover while playing live, listening to decision making of knowledgeable people live is super interesting. I've tried it a little bit, Rumble. I'll definitely do more. I'm being too hard on myself, but I want to like put some time into practicing and just like shake the rust off of it because I haven't been playing. And then maybe when I come back, we can try doing that. Because I feel like what would happen is I'd try to share my thought process and then I'd just die. And then I would just quiet down, you know? Or like if I share my thought process and just like make mistakes, like am I helping people? But I think I'm just overthinking it.
Dude, what? Do we have control of anything? Oh my god. Oh my god. I want Warford to actually lock down B.
Also, what if I'm like this, bro? I'm going to play for 10 minutes and just get upset.
So annoying.
There's an Optic and a scamper their way. I don't have that kind of patience. SR phase ended. There we go. I have so many tabs open in the back. I'm just trying to add tags to this video so I can
There we go.
Post it as soon as we end this. It was 9-1. Insanely crazy. Yeah. I mean, the thing about Lucid's level, though, in matchmaking, like, look at this lobby, though. Right? Like,
we just had them all trapped at B.
I mean, they're not all... They're definitely... Yeah.
Without getting a single kill.
You do have, like, a wide variety of skill, but, like, a lot of the guys in this lobby are sweaty. Like, they're pretty good players, so he's got high expectations, I guess. Piggy's a pro. But yeah, it's tough. It's funny though, but that mentality where people like, you know, they hate what their teammates are doing, it persists regardless of level of skill. You know, like what you hear from Lucid is pretty common. Like it's actually like nothing in comparison to like my average matchmaking teammates. People are just so ready to get upset, you know? He's an SSG. He's nasty though. He's a matchmaking grinder, bro. He's trying to do the Lucid nade. They added Search and Destroy to Halo? This seems like too long of a title. Any ideas? We're workshopping this. They added S&D?
This is the way.
Shapes, thank you for the follow.
This is the way.
S&D to Halo? All caps? Does S&D make sense? Like, does somebody see that and think search and destroy? Is that how it is spelled? Like S&D like that? S&D, yeah. No, it's S-N-D, the letter N.
It's insane. It's actually
Search and S&D, or commonly referred to as search and destroy. S&D. I get rid of they added. People are like, who's they? You do ampersand instead of N. Pro show match impressions. Pro show match. Like first impressions is what I think, but it's just such a long title. I don't know, bro.
Any help? Why am I the flat one up?
SMG drops into Waylo.
Dude.
I know you guys are blocking the gameplay.
Oh my god.
They called it seek and deploy. I know, but I said that in the so it says first impressions on the new seek and deploy competitive game type being tested in Halo Infinite. So, and I say that in the video too. It is pretty trolly. Like my thoughts on it are, you know, like it had moments, but it was, you know, the last round everybody had a freaking bulldog or a sniper. Like it was ridiculous at the end. But I was just hoping that like people see it and they have like a dialogue, be like have a conversation about, you know, whether or not the mode has potential and what areas they need to work on. Bulldogs for everybody, yeah.
Boy, you are fucking dog shit. It's actually unbelievable.
Oh my god. Wait, is he saying that to one of his matchmaking teammates?
God.
It's like surprisingly savage at Elucid, I'm not gonna lie. It's gotta be one of his chatters, right?
Ball, can't kill anything, can't get a camo.
He's saying that about his matchmaking teammates.
The ball for 30 seconds in the very last round.
Damn. Okay, okay. Here, I thought Lucid was a gentleman. He went full legend on his ass. Yeah. Okay. I think this is like ready to go. It's 15 minutes, 20 seconds. It's not super long. It's like all caps. They added search and destroy to Halo. W? L? Just run it? Yeah, get it. I just don't want to think about it anymore. We'll say it's a W. Just want it out. Just get it out of me. On to the next one. It's not that big a deal. Can always update. Yeah, I could definitely always update the title. Two dead already. 3 dead already. He's last alive. Oh, but he got it. Sicko in his face. Bro, I kind of don't blame him. He's called one of his teammates dog shit, but like he spawned, he got sniper OS, and his whole team died by the time he got it. So like, what could he do? He's got Piggy on his team now though, and he's getting spawn sniped because they're playing Fortress. Holy crap! Welcome to matchmaking. So, well, what I want to do is I'm gonna get off the stream and post it, and then you guys, please, if you're on YouTube or Twitch, go give it some love, like it. Drop a comment. I'd sincerely appreciate it. The last video that we posted actually ended up being 1 out of 10, guys. It has 23,000 views, which is surprising. It was more clickbaity than this one, I think.
Dude, what are we doing?
But that helped me a lot.
What are we doing?
Zoom DR is pretty nasty. Yeah, I've heard, yeah.
Okay.
Who do I think the first event... Wait. Who wins the first event? Who do I think will come top Big 4 tournament coming up? Top 4 big tournament coming up today? Wait, what? So it's either going to be Optic or SR, in my opinion, and I'm leaning Optic. SR looks stronger based on their wins recently, but it's going to be one of those two, probably. Top 4 is going to still be FaZe and SSG. There's always a chance that somebody else could like break into top 4, but just based off of what we've seen, I think that's safe to say we know the top 4 right now. How you doing, Wooly? I'm definitely watching Scrims tomorrow, Blondie. I think Illy was just crashing out, bro. I think he was just crashing out. The stuff that he was saying was stuff he probably would never say in any other situation other than him just being super pissed off. So I think people were taking it maybe like too literally. At the Arlington Major. At the Arlington Major, yeah, I think it's going to be between Optic and SR. It's like the freaking Super Saiyan head-to-head at this point, right? We just saw a scrim with SR and FaZe, and it wasn't close. Obviously, you know, we don't know how locked in they were, but... What are we doing? We were watching scrims, but it's done. It's been a short stream. I'm sorry, guys. Optic versus Final Boss. That's what we came in expecting to see. We didn't get to see it. I lied to you all. There's no qualifiers. That's one unfortunate thing leading up to Arlington is the qualifiers are done. So I don't know what we're doing for the upcoming weekends, right? So I'll definitely be watching scrims tomorrow. But this upcoming weekend, no idea what we're doing. The next weekend, like I hope that LVT has little events or something that they're running before Arlington because there's no more open anything. And it's going to kill our momentum, right? We got to keep building momentum. What was Legend saying to the Kaysan event? People were saying he was talking trash. Yeah, he said they were fucking dog shit to SR. He like popped off and he called them fucking dog shit. Which is what Lucid just said to one of his teammates in matchmaking. Watch CDL on YouTube for the next weekend? Oh, yeah, maybe. I don't know. There's always going to be things to do. Ace with chat on the weekend. We got to play the game. I think I'm going to start grinding the actual game a little bit more. I know it's going to probably hurt viewership. But if we can make some... educational content or something like that, grind, yeah. How much does first place win? The total prize pool is 250,000. I'm not sure what the specific breakdown is, but I would assume that the first place gets at least 100 to 150k for this first event, Coben. 250,000 is the total prize pool. Stats don't matter. OG fans. Wait, what? Streamers are so Optic based. Their overall series score is tied, right? So yeah, SR have been more like consistently on top. Like when it counts, like the matchups that count, right? But if you don't agree that they're insanely closely contested, like you're just wrong, right? You know that. It's a very competitive matchup. They're 33-33 in wins right now. Literally tied in wins right now. In individual games. Mister, how you doing? Ever review whatever secret tech Frosty was talking about for the game? He didn't... I can't see his POV, so I don't know what he was referring to, but I think he was just talking about jumping around the wall on the outside of the base. Watch current pros' first recorded comp match and analyze how they are similar or different to their current playstyles? First recorded comp match. So watch, like... Well, it'd be... That was nasty, Lucid. I'm sure they were nasty from, like, the outset, but it's a different Halo game, right? So I'd be, like, comparing to the way that they play Halo 5 to Halo Infinite, which is kind of weird, you know? I think it's a cool idea.
Base. Somewhere. There's our wing. Dude, what are we doing, Biggie? What are we doing?
He seemed pissed off with the mini tournament last weekend? Yeah, I don't know. Did you watch... Go watch the Broward video. His thoughts on it. Have you seen it, Grant? Broward had a good summary video on Formal's thoughts. Here. I think that's like a pretty good...
Bro, there's also a sim too.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, understandably, they were disappointed, but if you listen to him talk about that, go listen to that video. He says he was disappointed, but he also recognizes that, like, you just got to win that best of 7 in the end of the day, right? Like, he's got to get better at the game types that he's weak at. And you just got to, like, come out and, you know, win when it counts. Yeah, go for it. Seemed like pretty level-headed to me.
Dude.
I think it's fair to have some disappointment, right? Because the way the format worked was we've never seen a format like that before. It wasn't exactly well thought out. But I wouldn't take that away from SR because SR still played lights out. They still deserve their flowers, you know? But I think people need to be some people need to be a little bit more empathetic to the situation because it is kind of like weird, man. Like the ruling was like off. It's an important part of the Halo community. I agree. Brower's a good guy. He helps fill in the knowledge gaps and all the content from the pros in the community that, like, you know, important, relevant things, but also adds his like personal take and twist on it and creativity to it that makes it like, you know, fair use content versus like just copy pasting stuff from Twitch, which other creators do. Not that it's bad necessarily. Everybody's got a place in the community, but he does offer his own personal spin, you know. You got no empathy. That's fine. All right. Whatever. You could be a fan of whatever you want to be a fan of.
Weirdos game.
I like to try to be balanced in my take, you know?
Not getting any pulls.
Really just playing this over. Okay, guys. I'm going to post a video, and then I'm going to get off.
This is the way.
It's a big bag, Grant. Grant, thank you for the follow, man. Welcome. No problem, man.
Where...
Glad he's staying motivated. Yeah, it was cool to see that he hopes that it isn't his last year competing as well. I wasn't expecting to hear that too, right? Like,
frustrating.
Sounds like if things go well this year and Halo continues, we might actually get more formal competition. I don't know. You know, it'd be cool to see people continue to compete and keep the career going. What map is this? That map we just saw was Fortress earlier with Lucid. This is Lucid's POV. Okay, guys, new video's going up. Please give it a like, give it a comment if you don't mind. I'm going to post it right now. Hold on. Oh, wait, I got to manage. Wait, ad slots. I got to add the ads. Or...
This is the way.
This is the way. This is the way.
Thank you for the follow. Sorry if I missed that. Hold on a sec. It's pretty basic. Okay. Video's live. Please help it out. Anybody. You can like it, comment, whatever you like. Any support is appreciated, guys. You're a savage, Nukes. I see you. We're back, Samaniac. We're about to get off, man. Unfortunately, there wasn't a lot going on Scrims-wise today. I was hoping to clickbait you guys and then hang around, but I think we talked about what we wanted to today. We'll be back tomorrow. There will be SR versus SSG Scrims tomorrow. I heard Optic is scrimming as well tomorrow, so we'll be eating good tomorrow as far as Scrims go. I do have to grind the game. I know I'm slacking, guys. We'll play more of the game. I've been coaching and stuff as well, so I got to get back to my emails. Appreciate all you guys hanging out. In a bit, yeah, go for it. So, okay, I'm done, but my YouTube video is now live. If you can go give that some love, I'd appreciate it. Watch me on YouTube live for months. Didn't realize I streamed out. Yeah, we do it both at the same time, so Maniac. Thank you for following here if you just did, if I missed it. And go back to YouTube. Go like the video. Bye, guys. Have a good rest of your evening. All right, peace, Twitch. Oh, I don't know. I got a raid. Bro, I'm not, like, on it today. Let me just send it to Lucid, because we're already watching Lucid. I'm going to send him a raid. If you're on Twitch... Oh, pfft. I swear I copied that shit. All right, it's not working. Lucid_TW. There we go. Can we get 100 viewers over to him? That'd be nice. 82, 91, 95. We're at 98, bro. 2 more viewers. Oh, I got you, Bimmy. No worries, man. 102 over to Lucid. Thank you guys for hanging out. Have a great rest of your evening. Just got here. Later, Steel. See you, man. All right, YouTube. Bemmy, Viltrumite, Rain, Neo, Bozzy. See you guys later.